Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast. I was so sure you were going to
I'm
do
upset with Luigi. I'm gonna ruin it right here.
All right, let's jump right into it.
Did
What's
you
going
know?
on?
Did you know he has Lethal Company? He was playing for 10 hours. Didn't even tell me.
Oh, well.
Didn't even let us know.
Well, so, hey, guys. My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast. We're here
Yeah, to
with
this
our...
bullshit.
We're here...
This cesspool.
We're here with our end-of-the-year wrap-up. Somehow we also have news to talk about and stuff that we did that's not for the year. So there's
Somehow
a lot
we
to
have
cover.
news as if we didn't record for like 5 weeks since our last episode.
It hasn't been as long since the last podcast. It's almost been as long, but...
Oh, you're right. It's only been 3
And,
weeks. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Hyperbole.
it was because I was on vacation. It's my
Then I was
bad,
on
everybody. There was sickness going around. Then there was vacation, so you know it happens. It's the podcast. You get it. But we're here to wrap up 2023 with some wonderful. Oh my God, people are getting the best Christmas news they've ever gotten, and they work for a corporation called the Hasbro Corporation. And boy, oh boy, Hasbro was like, you know what? Holiday cheer. Lay off 10%. What is it? 1,100 people at Hasbro got laid off.
We're so bad at selling toys that we're going to cut half the staff from our only profitable division.
Yes. So somehow Hasbro made the galaxy brain move to go, you know what makes us money? Wizards of the Coast. You know what we should lay off? Half of a lot of people from Wizards. Among the rest of Hasbro. But what makes us money? D&D and Magic. Those guys could clearly make more money with less people, right?
Dude.
It's upsetting.
So
I think
stupid.
a majority of people who are still left who had worked on creating 5e aren't there anymore. Someone from the Baldur's Gate studio made a statement saying like they don't actually have any contacts left
Jesus.
at Wizards
That's
because
so
they were all
bad.
laid off.
Well,
It's insane.
It's pretty pathetic. It really makes you wish that Wizards could just become an independent company and just let
Shareholders
Hasbro
tried to push for it, but there was a lot of pushback because the rest of the company would probably go bankrupt.
Yeah,
in,
Hasbro would
less
go
than 3 years.
bankrupt without the free money that Magic the Gathering is still printing somehow. Even though,
Yeah.
if you read online, Magic the Gathering is having the worst time ever, but then they've released a Lord of the Rings set, and it's like their most sellingest set in history, so...
I mean, the problem is, and I think this is I don't know how much of this is just like the CEO getting fucked by what he said, but they're committed to doubling profits every year for, I think there's 2 more years of his promise. And if he doesn't hit it, he's going to be outed. So part of this
Clearly
is
he
him
should
saying,
be.
if we can cut costs, we can still look like we're doubling profit, even though we're going to absolutely fuck over whoever the next CEO is.
You know what sucks? Capitalism is great when you're a small company and you're like roaring up the charts and everyone's excited by what you're doing. And then you get to this point where all you're doing is making investors happy.
Yeah, late stage capitalism.
And, yeah, late stage capitalism is just like the worst fucking thing ever. Like it's so lame
rough.
that it's so... I feel like that's the reason Hasbro tried to go Lego. Like the fact that there's a Monopoly game for every IP in existence when no one even really likes playing Monopoly kind of speaks to like, no, we're gonna go the Lego route and we're just gonna get everyone else's IPs. But Monopoly is not fun like Lego, whereas people buy maybe 2 copies of Monopoly because they're psychos and like an IP, and then they go, wait, I hate this game.
Wait, can I go on a short Lego rant for a second here?
Oh, sure.
So back when I was in school for industrial engineering, one of the big like success stories they always share about Lego was, I think it was right before they started collaborating with all the IPs. Like it was right when they started doing Star Wars stuff. They had the issue that they were just losing money, and the problem was they had so many unique parts that it took them forever to change over the machines to print new sets. So a new CEO came in. He's like, "Look, we got to like slim down the number of unique parts we're printing per kit, just get it to like the core bricks, so we can just start pumping out more stuff per year." And then and they were hailed as like this big industrial engineering success story about simplifying your lines works. And then immediately after that, they start collabing with IPs and putting more custom pieces in than they ever did before, and they've never been more successful. So that one little tidbit story about how core engineering principles worked for them, completely thrown out the window when you look at the power of crossover IPs.
So it's funny you say that, Freeman, because I've talked about it before on the podcast over the years, but the shows Toys That Made Us and Movies That Made Us on Netflix, 2 of my favorite documentary series ever.
Yeah.
they have an episode about Lego, and I just rewatched it because I downloaded a bunch of most of the episodes for those shows for the various plane rides I've been on recently. And the Lego one I just rewatched like 4 days ago. Part of the problem with that was they were losing a ton of money in other ways. They tried a bunch of in-house IP shit that didn't really work. And when they first started doing Star Wars and Harry Potter, where they're two crossover IPs, they first released them at the tail end of movie cycles. So they kept making parts. They kept making kits, but the problem was they quickly fell off because they released them right after movies came out, and then their sales plummeted the year after the movies had been out. So they kept missing the cycle timing with the toys when they put them out for IPs.
Gotcha.
So you're not wrong. There was part of the episode where they talk about for the first time a CEO who wasn't a family member from the founder of Lego came in and slimmed them down. And that got them back to being profitable, and now they have both unique IPs that they do everything with, but they also have their own IPs that are really successful, like Ninjago, or back in the day, Bionicle is what saved Lego, according to the documentary.
Bionicles.
Guys, I love Bionicles so much. Those were so cool.
I thought they were cool. I never got any, but I remember Freeman. Do you remember a kid named Nick with red hair in our grade? I don't want to say the last name on the podcast, but do you remember him?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, he had Lego. He had Bionicle, and I thought they were the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah, Nick, if you're listening to this, those Bionicles are fucking cool.
I haven't talked to him in over 25, like over 20 years. But yeah, so I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm sure it helped at the time, but there's a reason that it was necessary then, but might not be as relevant now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hasbro laid off a bunch of people, and it's really depressing, and it sucks. And it is always a funny joke how the name of the man who is the CEO of Hasbro is Chris Cox. So I don't know how you get into a high-level professional position with that name. That's unfortunate, but
Cox.
Hey, look, he gave a bunch of people pink slips like 2 weeks before the holidays, so pretty lame. Speaking of lame.
Well, hold on. All right, sorry. Hold on. Before we jump topics, this is actually a hot topic with people being let go around the holidays. Letting someone go in December is probably the best thing you do, because most companies, if they do hiring freezes, they hire freeze until right after the holidays are over.
Yeah.
So January is when hiring would begin. If you let someone go at Thanksgiving, it blows because there's nothing they can do for a month, because most places don't start doing interviews again until after the holidays. So
Freeman,
shitty thing that they did it. I'm happy they timed it close to rehiring season.
Okay, that feels like almost copium levels. Like,
look, if you're gonna let people go in Q4, let them go as close to the end of Q4 as you
Freeman,
can.
how about we shouldn't have our whole society be like, hey, we function around letting people go and not hiring people for the entire last month of the year because of money.
Growth at any cost, man.
I have a friend who
Milton Friedman can suck it. I hate him so much.
I have a friend who got laid off back in early October, and she can't find a job and is basically giving up for right now because no new jobs and nothing is going onto the market in December. She was like, I need to find a job by Christmas or I'm going to be screwed until the new year, for the exact reason you're talking about. So it's just sad to me that we exist. We live in a society.
Yeah, I pretty much gave up looking for fucking jobs right now until the new year.
Yeah.
Then everyone's going to be like, wow, we're ready for the new year, new challenges. Speaking of new year, new challenges, it's always a challenge when the Game Awards come around.
Oh, man. Everyone was so salty this year. They had a huge breakdown of how much time was allocated to awards speeches versus just trailers.
This was such a big thing.
It was so depressing how little time they gave for the award speeches.
Nah, that's
World
good.
premiere.
Speed that shit up, even though I never didn't watch it this year.
Frankly, look, this is a case of I agree with you completely, Friedman, and it's not like I agree in terms of like let's lay off people when we're not hiring people also. It's more like I agree with you. I wish people who won awards could give speeches, but if they had given more like 30 more seconds to people, literally it would just mean that people wouldn't be memeing about that. No one would be talking about anything any of them said. No one cares what it's a sad truth that no one gives a shit what they're saying or who they're thanking. They just care can I Google a list of what won what award so I can get mad about it or happy about it?
All right, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here. So most of the time, the speeches, they're nothing of significance because when people write them, they were like, I have 30 seconds to thank everyone I can. But imagine if they said, you have 5 minutes. You can thank all the people you want, but you can also talk about this game, talk about the development, talk about anything that people who liked your game might find interesting from your perspective. But most people don't write those speeches because they know they don't have time for it.
I would also argue that that's not exactly the forum for that. That's what like dev blogs and things are, and like videos of the development are for, and interviews, not a speech at the Game Awards.
I want it to be though. Why?
Just watch
when,
it.
I want when the director
Wait
goes up there
some...
to talk about the movie. Give me some funny anecdote about when they filmed it, like some little.
That's
little
what
bit.
the hour-long documentary is for. That's why I watch. That's why I watch the movies that made us. I don't give a shit what anyone said at award time. I care what everyone says when they can chill in their own home and talk mad shit about the producer who almost screwed the project.
No one makes documentaries about a movie until enough time has passed and it's big enough to warrant making a documentary.
Freeman,
this is the year it came out at an award show.
Freeman, there are way too many YouTube essayists out there these days, like who are willing to do a video.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we don't need all this shit. We don't.
Speaking of speeches, funny enough, hold on. We have to segue into the funniest part of this, though, about how the only line that anyone said that anyone cared about from this was the guy who plays Kratos in God of War, who was the presenter.
Yeah,
for
Chris
the show,
Judge.
Right? Yeah, he was the presenter for the whole thing, right? Wasn't he? Like
I don't know. I didn't watch it this
year.
year.
I thought it was just for that award.
Well, he came on and talked about how short the new campaign for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023.
He did talk mad shit, apparently.
And COD started getting super salty on Twitter about it, and everyone thought it was the funniest shit in the world.
Like, if they didn't acknowledge it, it wouldn't be a thing, but the fact that they got so vocally mad just made it very visible how short the COD campaign
also,
is.
it doesn't help that just before the award show, like, what was it, less than a month ago, Tyler, that Modern Warfare 3 came out, and everyone's like, this is fucking terrible.
Yes.
So, like, it's fresh in everyone's minds. This game is not good. He talks shit about it. It's funny, but no one would have cared if COD were like, no, man, it's real good. Call of Duty. I get it. A job is a job, but, like, you don't have to get on... Like, most people are smart enough to not get online and be like, my company's great. My product is good. Like, no, you should know that, like, no one who plays Call of Duty is online defending Call of Duty as good.
Between them doing that and Bethesda getting mad about Baldur's Gate 3 being good, it's just it taught a lot of devs like don't take the criticism personally on Twitter.
No, I think it's kind of funny. But
hilarious.
it's they don't like learn their lesson though.
Come on, it's the internet. No one's gonna learn their fucking lesson.
Their lessons.
Speaking of the God of War game, though, free Ragnarok DLC that came out. Did it come out the day after the show?
Oh, it's out already. Yeah.
You already beat it, Tyler?
No, I haven't got a chance to play it. I don't get a chance to do anything. I've had to work a lot.
What mean? Shut the what? Tyler,
I'm working.
493 game sessions for your year Steam and review.
Literally working. Yeah, and guess what? Most of it was from January to November.
And or Sunday squad nights for D&D.
Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, this Sunday this month has been fucked. This is so much for a jolly Merry Christmas.
No, your Steam year in review has less hours in December because you were playing the God of War on PS5.
I fucking wish, bro. I wish that was the case.
It's free, like it's like a separate campaign area thing, right?
Yeah. I didn't check how big it was, but I did download it though.
I mean, it's free content, and it's kind of like a roguelike, isn't it?
Roguelite,
isn't it roguelite levels?
Yeah, so from what they say.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's cool.
I haven't gotten to boot it up yet, but
that's fine. I'm just trying to move us along because holy shit, I keep forgetting how much we have.
There's not that much in here.
Well,
the other DLC. This one was surprised because they announced like outright this moment. But Final Fantasy 16, which we knew they were going to get 2 DLCs, we did not have any dates for them. So hearing like it's out now at the Game Awards was pretty shocking.
Game on the fucking planet.
Do we gotta pay for this though?
No. Yeah, it's not free. This is full on like more campaign.
Oh. Well, so MMO players are used to it.
I mean, this is the first single-player Final Fantasy MMO to ever exist. But
wait, what?
Sorry, the game takes a lot from Final Fantasy 14 in terms of like menu, quest rewards, the fact that there's just fetch quests
Oh
everywhere.
wait, I said MMO fans. I keep mixing up 16 and 14. Yes.
Oh,
This
no,
is
I
the
was
game
making a
that
joke
everyone
about how
said was
like
too easy.
16 is made by the producer and group that still does 14, so it feels a lot like 14.
Maybe the
But-
quest line. I don't know about the gameplay loop.
No, not the
Yeah, it's
gameplay. I'm talking
Devil
about
May
like
Light.
menus, how they do rewards and stuff.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's Devil May Cry and the 14 menu system.
Devil
Anyway,
May 14.
Anyway, that was a bad joke. But we skipped over the
Let's
the
go from 14
goofiest
to
annou-
16. Or,
No, the one
God
at the-
damn it, 16 to 24. Ugh, I can't talk.
All right, you good there, Tim?
No, go. I'm
He's
just
having a
mad.
fucking stroke right
So they
now.
announced the first Strand type movie.
Oh my God.
What?
So when Death Stranding came out, Kojima kept
Oh,
saying this is
that,
the first
yeah.
Strand type game. Well, now
Big
A24 is making a live action Death Stranding movie, aka the first Strand type movie.
Wait, Tyler, Donkey makes this joke like every video is about Strand type something.
I totally don't know
Can I-
what you're
can
talking
I
about. I'll be
ask-
honest with you.
Can I ask what the fucking point of this is? Why? Legitimate? I know
because-
Kojima.
no, I know
Kojima
why.
wants to
Yeah, I
make
can tell you
movies.
why.
Ooh,
too.
teacher,
But why?
I know the answer to this question. I know this. Okay, it's because Kojima never wanted to make video games. He wanted to
No,
make movies.
That's
Yes, that's
exactly
the
what I
answer.
was just saying.
Metal
I
Gear
know
Solid
he.
4 isn't a video game.
I know that, but they're 5 times longer than fucking movies.
That's right. The fourth chapter of Metal Gear Solid 4 is a standalone movie. You pick up the controller, you walk through a
Yeah, but-
room, and then you get to watch an hour and a half movie before the boss fight.
Okay, but I'm saying there's like 6
What?
hours of cutscenes in that game.
yeah,
That's not
Frankly-
a movie. That's a mini
frankly-
series.
They
No,
could
that's
cut
a-
it down
that's
to an
a-
hour and a half, not gonna lie.
it's a movie. I do think there will be challenges for him because
Okay, is he actually directing it or anything, or is he just like
there's
executive
no
producer?
shot he's
No, there's
directing
no
it.
way
There's
he's
no way
directing
they
it.
would
Well,
let
that's
him
why I'm
direct
I've never
saying,
it.
liked
what is he
Kojima direct the
doing?
movie.
I don't know what is he doing.
Why? Okay, you would have
He's
said
working
that
on
about
Death-
making
just
video
exec
games.
He's
producing
working on
on
Death
it.
Stranding 2, is what I think. Because didn't they already announce that?
Yes.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 is happening, so he's working on that.
He's probably just an executive producer or some shit for.
They're gonna
I mean,
run
it's-
dailies by Kojima
It's
every
the
single
studio
day.
doing it.
Honestly, I'm not surprised that A24 would be doing like Kojima does enough weird like
I was
he
gonna
does
s-
the weird shit that A24 likes.
So here's the thing,
Yeah.
though: is it not a case of he would have picked A24, not the other way around? Because I feel
I
like
think it's just no one else would do it.
is that true? I feel like there's enough name.
Nah,
recognition
Blumhouse. No,
that
Blumhouse
some-
would take it.
I feel
Blumhouse
like-
would
Well,
100
I was
take
gonna
it.
say, I feel like some big movie studio would have taken a
No
shot on
way.
a movie.
Absolutely the fuck
You don't
not.
think
No, dude,
any
Death
of
Stranding's
them?
already a shitty story to begin with.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't-
No. But the Kojima name. You don't think that some movie studio executive would have been like, guys, this guy's really big in video games. He's asking for like a couple $1 million. He'll even help bankroll it. We'll just give it a shot and
Absolutely not. I don't think so.
I feel like if studios were clamoring to do that, we would have seen a Metal Gear movie by
I
now.
don't think clamoring. I just think they would have been open to it.
Nah, I don't think so.
I'm saying if he took it to one of them, maybe he would have gotten a yes. I'm saying I think he would have gone, look at these eight. I feel like it's Kojima watched a weird A24 movie, then watched 2 more and was like, these guys would be great to make my thing. Not A24 said, we could be the ones who make the Death Stranding movie finally for Kojima. Let's go talk to him. I'm just circling it back to, I think Kojima might have talked to them first, not they talked to him first.
I think it could have gone either way.
Could've gone either way.
Sure, I think
Well,
that's.
But
But if
Kojima
I
was
was
a
a
big guy.
big studio, I wouldn't have gambled.
No.
I wouldn't gamble on
Sorry,
it.
I phrased that poorly, and you're right. I think though, if he had wanted to, he could have at least approached a studio and maybe gotten a yes. I think it's in my mind. I'm like, Kojima wanted to do something, or someone pointed him at A24 and was like, "These guys are weird," and he was like, "Weird? I love it. Let's go."
I'll tell you though, they're the only studio, aside from maybe Blumhouse, but Blumhouse wouldn't take it because of how much money he would want to.
That's
want
the
for
problem. Well, does
Where
A24 have enough
A24
money to bankroll something
it.
like
They
this?
do, dude. They've
Yeah,
had
dude, they're
nothing
rolling
but
in it.
yeah. They've
I-
been doing nothing but back to back. Like
I'm
I
also
think
successfully
Bo
doing-
is Afraid though was like the first one that didn't do that well.
not saying they're not doing well, but like wasn't Death Stranding some astronomical amount of money for the game?
Yeah, but that's game development.
Yeah,
The
but
story is not indicative of like how much it would take to make a
Let's
movie.
see,
out
how
of
much
it.
did Bo's Afraid got? Yeah, Bo's Afraid bombed. I didn't
Oof.
realize how badly it
I still
bombed
want to
though.
watch this.
right.
You know what? It's still the best A24 movie I ever watched.
Damn.
All right. We have to move along. It's been 20 minutes and we barely made it past the Game Awards. Luckily,
All right,
everything
who the
else is
fuck
quick.
actually gives a shit about GTA 6 though? I was
Tyler?
asking Freeman about
So
that.
Tyler?
up until
Tyler?
the trailer, I
Why
did.
do we care? Why does everybody care though?
Okay, you just asked two very different questions. Why
Fine.
do we
Why
care?
does everybody care?
We only care that it exists because now everyone can shut up about a new GTA finally being announced. I couldn't care less because do you guys watch Nakey Jakey?
Yes.
I do watch Nikki.
Okay.
Jakey.
Him and one of my podcasts I was listening to both have referenced before. I know you guys have heard me talk about this. How I know, Tyler, you remember me talking about this with Red Dead. I can't play Rockstar games because they always control like fucking garbage. And as soon as I saw GTA 6 announced, I'm like, cool, this game's going to sell more than anything else on the planet. And I couldn't care less because picking up a controller and playing this is going to feel like the worst thing in the entire world. I can't do it.
What if they fix the controls?
They won't. It's just
What if-
as
but what if
simple
they
as that.
did?
No, they just
What
won't.
if?
They literally will refuse. They want to. We talk about making movies. Kojima wanting to make movies. Rockstar only gives a shit about online things that make them infinite dollars, or making video games that are just references to crime movies that they liked watching. Like that's what the
like
two
bad
things
thing.
are. Hey, you want to watch a crime? You want to play out a crime movie? Hey, you want to play out a crime movie with your friends and give us shit tons of money? Cool, we'll do both of those things.
Anyway, so to answer the two questions, why do we care? Answer is not anymore. I don't. I thought we were getting the Vice City 80s aesthetic. Instead, Tyler and I were talking about this before the podcast. It's just Florida. So I've lost a lot of interest when I realized what this is going to be, just modern day Florida. Because if I wanted to see modern day Florida, I don't have to wait. I can just go take a flight down to Miami and see this shit live. But as for who does care about it, GTA 5 still has a massive install base.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't. Besides, I think just the meme of it being too long is what's accelerating this. Because like,
No.
Tim, I know I told you this. It was the other week. There was this one trial going on, and someone was trying to explain how the witnesses they were bringing in for the next 3 days did not matter at all. So to drill that point home, they wanted to explain what the concept of a filler arc was. So they started explaining what the bout arc from Bleach is.
No, you talked about
in
this
court.
on the podcast.
Yeah, and the top comment on Reddit for this was Bleach mentioned in court before GT6 or GTA 6. Like, it's just such a colossal meme is dead that it's got people talking.
Well, I mean,
like,
Donkey's video came out like a week before they announced this, where Donkey was like, GTA 6 is never happening, and then immediately GTA 6 gets announced.
I mean, personally, I'm not really giving a shit till we see gameplay footage, and then I might start to care.
What does gameplay footage matter when you don't know what it feels like to play it for yourself?
But I just want to see what it looks like in game. Show me it. Like, I'm at the stage where you show me a cool pre-rendered cutscene thing. I don't give a shit. There are movies that look better than this. Like, show me a game. I'm just not for these cinematic trailers.
Okay,
even
hold on. Speaking of show me a game,
yeah, show me a game.
we're never gonna see games at E3 ever again because E3 is dead.
This one physically hurts because like I'll never forget there was one year that E3 was so early that it was during the end of our school year. So we would be in class while certain announcements are happening, and we'd be like getting up and like shitting on each other, be like, Metal Gear Acid announced for 360, suck it. Like that was the peak of just E3 hype. Like, what are they gonna announce next? And we're just not gonna have anything like that again.
I think it's evolved to the point where all the big studios and publishers are like, we do our own show now. Why would we tie to E3 and share the news cycle when we can just do whatever we want?
Oh, it's definitely better for companies, but like the problem is, I don't know if you guys follow this. Like, does Sony announce their PlayStation Directs more than like 72 hours in advance? Because I feel like every time I hear about them, 48 hours in advance, I see a tweet from Sony saying, in 48 hours, tune in for the next PlayStation Direct. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool, but like, there's not enough time for me to hype myself and other people around me up for this. So whatever's getting announced is just going to be very shocking regardless. But like, no one's going to sit here like waiting on you, waiting on your every word for this.
Can I ask though, like, isn't Nintendo the same exact thing with their directs? Like, they give you like 72 hours notice.
Nintendo is like a week out, but it's still the
Is it a
same
week?
kind of thing. Like it's hard for me to get hyped up for. Pokemon is obnoxious. They'll announce it a month in advance, but like a majority of their announcements are just like
Hey,
the mobile
Pokemon.
game is delayed. Like that's like anytime I hear they do a Pokemon Direct, I'm like, good lord, what are they going to announce?
I think you're right. I think some part of it is the sadness of like E3 wasn't Sony's doing news, Microsoft doing it. It's like there is just all the gaming news in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Video games. Like that's
Video game.
I think that's
and you
what
do
was
like
so cool
weeks
about
out. You're like,
E3.
I don't even know what the fuck's happening. I don't know who's gonna be there, but shit is
all the
going to be
rumors
good.
like, oh my god, Sony's gonna do this, Microsoft's gonna do this, da 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 da, Nintendo, da 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 da.
Are they gonna announce the game pyramid this year?
Oh my god, I made a joke to Val while we were in Vegas and we were driving towards the Sphere. I went, Val, it would have been so great if someone put up a game sphere on there and there's just a big text that says, it's spherical.
Spherical.
All right. Let's keep moving on with
Boy,
more.
it's all bad news.
Oh,
Like, I
wait,
feel like
news
we're
about video
ending
game
the
news.
news. We're ending the year with like, oops, all terrible news.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys hear? I'm shoehorning this in because it's funny. I meant to talk about the awards. Have you guys seen the most searched video game?
I saw the post you're
search
talking about.
For Pornhub.
I didn't actually click on it.
Oh,
The most
yeah,
searched video game characters on Pornhub. I'm
I
gonna take a
did.
wild guess
I saw it on Reddit.
that it's Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
No.
Ooh, who
No,
is
it's
it?
actually second.
Yeah, she's second.
Damn, hold on. What subreddit is this?
Yo, behind. Can you take a guess, Tim? You probably can.
I saw it, so I don't want to.
Oh, you
I
saw
don't
it?
want to give it away.
Oh,
Was
I'll
it
say
on
it.
the
Whatever.
gaming subreddit?
No, this is like
What?
actual.
Oh yeah. Gaming subreddit has the link to the article.
Yeah.
No, free. Yeah, I'm on the. If you just Google insights for the year.
You got to be.
Well,
fucking
it's you know
kidding
what's
me.
funny though, Tyler. I think you might have
What?
noticed this. Tifa is number 2, but Final Fantasy is like a million miles down the list. So it's literally
Yeah.
just her and nothing.
I mean, like, but actually though, like.
Oh yeah, Chun-Li from Fortnite, most searched.
From Fortnite is upsetting.
That's too funny.
From Fortnite, like that pisses me off.
That's
So
that's I think that's
it
hilarious.
probably has to do with.
Oh, it's definitely a crossover thing.
Yeah, do I have to out myself as a coomer here? The fact they put her in yoga pants in Fortnite, whereas she normally has like the China dress,
Oh my god.
definitely brought a lot more attention to the Thunder Thighs.
Hell yeah, brother. But that's
Yo,
see, I
but-
wouldn't know.
See, you know what's more cursed? Number 6 on the list.
Wait, which one?
The most searched characters.
Dude,
Oh yeah, no. What do you mean? That's the
Dude.
most cursed. What do you mean?
it's been the most.
What do you
cursed
mean
for
by
years.
that?
I
Sonic
didn't say it was
always
a
makes
new
this
curse.
list.
It's just the curse that won't go away.
Is 6 Sonic or 8?
Oh, I thought
Mario
you
more
said.
cursed?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about
No,
Lady
6
Dimitrescu.
No, dude. That.
Oh, 6. Yeah, 6 is. Oh my god, it's Sonic. See, like that's the problem.
Yo, we lost a third of our national traffic on Thanksgiving Day. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, actually, like legitimately, like these are some very interesting metrics.
Wait, traffic by game console? What the fuck?
61% of the Netherlands traffic went down on New Year's Eve. That's crazy. We only lost 30%.
The most searched term though for you, Friedman,
Free.
is
For me.
hentai, bro. Your people, your preference
Your
one, dude.
people.
Your people, your preference one.
I don't understand why. That like Pornhub does not have very good hentai.
See, but like, yo, he ain't wrong though. He ain't wrong.
Yeah, it's because of all the. It's
That
because of
great.
all the filter.
All the censored, yeah.
I'm
Not-
honestly shocked that
It was
91
getting rid of all the unverified content. That's what it was.
91% of their traffic's on phone, and desktop
What?
viewership down 46% from last
That's
year.
wild.
That's
That's
insane.
wild.
No, like that's get rid of the whole topic that we're talking about Pornhub here. It's just the whole idea that no one's using computers anymore is wild.
That is pretty wild.
Dude, the fact that their most searched term. No, that's the most searched term of their entire website of the year.
Was
Yeah.
what, hentai?
Yeah,
Dang.
that's crazy.
Dang. Dang.
Dang.
Not in America though. Not in America though.
Nope. What's ours? Lesbian?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, lesbian.
What's New Jersey?
Number 3 though. It's
Why
number
is
3.
New Jersey Turkish?
Hey,
What
man.
the fuck does that mean?
What the hell?
We do have a decent Turkish population from what I know of.
What, the whole state is the most searched one?
I don't know, man.
Yo, some of
I
these are
definitely did not contribute to that
wild.
metric
Some of these
for
are
sure.
wild. Ohio, Alaska, Maine. What the fuck? When compare, okay. So every state has a unique thing. Like what's
Oh,
the
like
thing?
the
The state
the
wins
one uncommon
wins as
term.
the most searching. Oh my God, Arkansas. Gee, okay, okay. We're changing. We're moving on to the next topic. So Insomniac had a leak. That's crazy. Wow. Oh my God, hackers
Yeah.
stole like a terabyte of data and all of Insomniac shit's leaked. Someone who actually
Yep.
found out about what's in the leak, please tell us what's in the leak.
Freeman.
So it's
You
all
read it.
Marvel shit. It's all Marvel shit. It's,
Oh no.
they're not doing Spider-Man 2 DLC. They have an X-Men game coming up. They had some other unannounced Marvel title. The big one is that just there's another Ratchet and Clank that's scheduled way down the line, with speculation that like, is this supposed to be a PS6 launch title?
Oh my God.
But like, there was nothing that shocking in here. But the thing is, a lot of like assets from the games were included in the leaks. It wasn't just schedules. It wasn't just unannounced stuff. But it was more like actual game assets leaked,
Yeah.
which is the big problem. Overall, kind of sucks. I will continue making this joke that there's no Infamous remaster, so I don't care. That's all I really
that would
want
sell.
Insomniac to do.
Man, if Infamous came to PC, I'd be so all over that.
If they could just make it available, the only way to legally play it right now is you need the right PlayStation Plus membership to stream PS3 games, and that's the only way to actually play Infamous right now.
What
Outside
do you
of owning
mean?
a PS3.
I'll say I own a copy though.
I mean, I do too, but I have to go dig up my PS3 from my parents' basement if I want to go play it.
Mine is currently being used actually by my friend's dad.
That
Oh, what's he
sounds
playing?
that sounds about right. What I'd expect.
Yeah, he's going through my entire PS3 library apparently.
Okay then. Hey, good. You know what? Use it while it works.
I mean, he almost ago.
What? You cut out for a sec.
Oh, well, he almost broke it like a month ago
Oh.
apparently.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Yeah.
So that sucks that a lot of work was leaked from Insomniac. That's really unfortunate. Someone was clearly unhappy that they didn't work hard enough to make Spider-Man 2 win at the Game Awards. That's sarcasm, by the
Yeah.
way.
I was gonna say, is that? Whoops, sorry.
I don't know. Hackers tend to be shitty, so I don't know. Speaking of being shitty. So
All right, I need you to fill me in. I have not been following the saga at all. What
That's
did
fine.
he do?
That's fine.
And who is this person?
So, back when the Loki season one came out, at the end of the show, they introduced a character. He who is at the end. He who remains.
Must not be end. No, I'm just kidding.
He
No,
who is at the end of time, and Loki
Yeah.
finds him, and they kill him. His name is Kang the Conqueror.
Thank you.
And
no.
in the what?
I was making
said-
a joke.
I said
I was
Danky
making-
Kang, but
So he is in the Marvel comics like super big multiverse villain. He's the guy of the multiverse. And after Loki, he showed up in Ant-Man Quantum.
Oh, He Who Remains. Sorry,
He Who
I
Remains,
remembered
thank
his name.
you. He shows up in Ant-Man Quantum Mania. He shows up in Loki season 2. And he's the next big bad of Marvel to replace Thanos.
gotcha.
You mean was?
Well, the character still probably is, but they cast a guy named Jonathan Majors to play Kang the Conqueror in all of this stuff. All of this. So he's also been doing a pretty big deal. He was in Creed 3.
Yep.
And so he's been doing pretty good in terms of becoming an A-list actor. Yesterday, back in March, he was arrested on charges of basically assaulting his girlfriend.
Oof.
And then he was found guilty yesterday.
Double oof.
So Marvel said, "You're gone." Marvel said, "Goodbye."
Immediately.
instantly on guilty.
immediately.
So now it's kind of like, what's Marvel gonna do? Are they gonna recast Kang? Well, they've put a lot of time into it. Or are they gonna kind of like with
I mean, that's not the first time they recast people.
I would say it's like the first major time
Would you
since
say it's the
since
biggest
No,
one?
they
Rhodey?
recast War Machine and they
Yeah,
recast
since
Hulk.
Rhodey.
No.
Both of those things happened back in Phase 1.
Yeah.
Then we got an entire Black Panther movie about mourning the loss of the actor who played Black Panther instead of recasting him. So that's not shots fired at
I feel
anyone.
like that's hard though. Like that was a completely different thing though.
But he was super tied to the character, and to be fair, no one looks up to this guy as this character. So I bet they'll recast him. I'm just saying something like this hasn't happened to Marvel in quite a long time. Like this isn't the same as before the first event. Like before the first Avengers movie happened, Hulk was recast and Rhodey was recast.
Yeah, and Rhodey has very little relevance outside of, how do I word this? Just the Iron Man movies up until that point. Whereas
Don Cheadle's
Kang
just
is
kind of
being set
like,
up-
ooh, it's another Iron Man with a less cool suit.
Yeah, whereas Kang is being set up right from the beginning as like he's going to matter across.
He's gonna be
movies
the
right from the
Thanos. He's
get-go,
gonna
right?
carry the whole franchise as the big villain that we're working towards. So it'll be interesting to see what happens because he just got fired. Marvel hasn't said anything. Marvel's already been in a huge slump. No one I know really gives a shit about Marvel anymore. Val and I certainly
Actually,
don't.
I'll use an opportunity to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the what we watched played. Like I blitzed through the second and third Spider-Man movies just so that I could watch Doctor Strange 2, and I was like grossly underwhelmed by all three of these movies.
Really, even
Don't
the
you mean
Spider-Mans.
Evil Dead 3? So that's literally what that movie was.
I didn't hate the Spider-Man movies. I didn't think they were like. The problem is, I wish I didn't know that all the Spider-Men were in Spider-Man 3. 'Cause it
Fair.
just but like even watching it felt too much of like you know the member berries from South Park with just like the feeding on your nostalgia. The whole movie
Member.
just felt like that, and I didn't really like how pandering it felt.
You know, I definitely get that because I think when we finished Spider-Man, I turned to Val and I said something along the lines of like this is a good movie because it would have been easy to screw this up, but at the same time it feels like anyone competent could make this movie because so much of it just kind of spawns from the ether pretty effortlessly.
Yeah,
Like, ooh, Spider-Man made a comment about other Spider-Man being his best friends. Like, everyone loves that scene, but also you probably would put that in a Spider-Man movie where you have a bunch of Spider-Men.
yeah, like kind of wrote itself.
Like, yeah, exactly. Kind of like if anyone good sat down at the writing board, they would write this movie. So that I remember distinctly saying that to Val, and I know what you mean, Friedman. There have been other, especially Marvel things like that, with Marvel becoming the quippy, or like what was it? Taika Waititi, like Thor, Love and Thunder, kind of felt like that. Like it was trying really hard and it went too far. Marvel's had a problem. Everyone's losing interest, and well, hey, we'll all remember the Avengers Endgame, and then that's gonna be it.
All right.
Except somehow Guardians 3 was the best Marvel movie ever. I still don't get that.
They mad?
I'm not mad.
Wait, like highest performing?
It made the most money of all of them this year, and everyone.
Okay, I thought you were trying to make an opinion question about how you don't.
No. There was a bunch of memes of like Marvel is back, Guardians 3, Marvel is dead, whatever movie came after, Marvel is back, Loki season 2, and then like it just keeps seesawing, but it's like no, it's just kind of still dying the whole time. Like
Gotcha.
I feel like people only cared about Guardians because they loved the Guardians before. Right now, like it's irregardless of being a Marvel thing, it kind of turned into its own entity.
Irregardless.
But speaking of its own entity, or its own island, you might say.
Yeah, let's talk about some Japan shit, 'cause it's time for the Weeb shit.
Islands? Isn't it islands?
Well, like Island Nation, kind of. I don't know.
Whatever, technicality. Jump Fiesta was this weekend, and just like every other year that Jump Fiesta happens, I always forget it's happening until I wake up to like 15 announcements being like,
Yeah, a
what the
whole
fuck is
bunch of
going
stuff
right
on
now?
r/anime, and you're like, what event happened where all these announcements came out?
Yeah, and the second I realize like it's more than one Shonen Jump property at the same time, it's like, it's the Jump event. Um, so the first one to come out of the gates was the Chainsaw Man movie's happening. So they're gonna do pretty much what Jujutsu Kaisen did, where they had uh season 1 movie, season 2. But everyone is crunching the numbers on Chainsaw Man because unlike Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man has a very definitive part 1 and part 2 of the manga. And they'd be kind of stupid to try to do the bridge in the gap between 1 and 2 in the same season. So people are number crunching right now after this movie comes out. Would they need 12 or 24 to pull off the rest of part 1 of Chainsaw Man? But it's looking, with how Mappa works, we're probably going to get season 2 after this movie.
So, just to add context, according to some of the Reddit comments, and I think I remember this, there was a leak a while ago that Mappa had been planning a movie and then season 2.
Yeah.
And so this kind of corroborates that, where a lot of people are like, "Ooh, this was definitely going to happen."
Yeah, it definitely fits how they've been handling their franchises so far. So all I gotta say is more Chainsaw Man.
We do season
better.
1. If it goes well, we do a movie to get the money back, and then we do a season 2 off that money.
If this gets Japan to stop crying about how the director's trying to make it too cinematic, and he goes, "Fine, we'll make a movie then," do it. I'm all here for it.
I would be thrilled if this movie made way more money not in Japan. Like, let's just break the link now. Like Chainsaw Man, Vinland Saga, let's just power these things from the West, please.
I know. I'm hoping we get like a simul release. Like I know
Good
the numbers
joke.
are in that Chainsaw Man's streaming numbers overseas are way overperforming compared to what they expected. I don't think it's beating the actual Japanese audience, but like Chainsaw Man is very much. I guess it's kind of like Vinland, where it's just there is a over. Like, it's not a majority, but there's a large overseas audience for it.
Can I just ask, why is it that Hollywood can put out Hollywood movies roughly around, like, within a month? A Hollywood movie will usually come out anywhere in the world unless there's like censorship shit. But somehow Japan is like, oh, we need like 6 months to put out a movie. Like Spy Family movie, we didn't talk about. It's not on the list. The Spy Family movie is coming out right now
Next
in
week,
Japan.
right? I think it's like on Christmas or something.
Yeah, and we're not going to get it till what, March, maybe.
Did they
Maybe
announce it for the
April?
U.S.?
No,
I'm not
just saying
joking. I don't remember. If they
No,
did.
I'm just saying that, like, I'll check while we're talking, but I have to guess we're not going to see it.
So
Like, we're not going to see it forever.
So I can give a little bit of insight on this. So a lot, especially historically, anime movies aren't big money makers overseas. So they typically would wait for another company who wants to foot the bill, who thinks they can pull a profit, to be like, "Hey, can we release your movie?"
All right, so a
For
month
the longest time it was
ago,
Funimation or Crunchyroll, who's
six-
like, "We'll foot it."
6 weeks ago, Crunchyroll said, in theaters 2024, Spy Family Code White. Great.
Why's it got to be white?
Because it's on Christmas.
Because if they said Code Black, then people would freak the fuck out.
God damn.
All right, that was a good one. I think this is the bigger one. I feel like, I don't know if people were talking about it a lot, but online everyone was going off on Chainsaw Man. But Studio Wit, in collaboration with the studio that normally does One Piece, they're doing like a One Piece Brotherhood. They're going
Crazy.
back from the beginning. They're redoing the same story, but unlike current One Piece, where they're trying to keep lockstep with the manga, where they have to take like 15 chapters and stretch it into 20 minutes every week. Instead, they have the luxury of putting multiple chapters in an episode and telling One Piece at a properly paced story with modern animation right from the get-go. So I don't know about other people, but like, I'm excited because this is my opportunity to finally watch One Piece, because I can't stand how, I want to say awful, but how dated the earliest seasons of One Piece look and feel. And it's Studio Wit who's doing this. So I'm honestly shocked, because back during the Attack on Titan era, like, they had a lot of trouble pulling off very consistent releases. But people are starting to think this is going to be like how Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War is handled, where it's going to be like 12 episodes, then an off season, then 12 episodes back for another arc. That's going to be just way more condensed tempo compared to how it was in the still currently ongoing One Piece anime by oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of the studio that does it. It's not Toho Animation.
Isn't it? It's
Oh
owned
my
by
god, how am I
Toho,
forgetting this?
isn't
I'm a fake weeb.
Can I just say how insane it is to think that this
Yeah,
property,
Toei, sorry.
Toei, that's it. This property will have an anime that's over 1,000 episodes, a new anime starting, a live action show from Netflix that apparently is like their best streaming thing of the year.
I don't
At
know if
least
it's
in
going to get a
terms of
season
live
2
action.
though.
Oh, I thought that everyone was like, I thought it was maybe confirmed or maybe not yet, but it seems like it did really well, and the manga still isn't over yet. Like,
Never mind, they already renewed it for a second season.
okay, I thought they had. That just like what property makes 4 different things happening at the same time?
Look, there's a reason One Piece is still like the king of shonen.
So I was gonna say, I feel like I don't know if I would watch the Brotherhood one, only because I feel like there is literally so much like baggage that comes with watching One Piece. Not in the sense of being bad, but like you literally can't pick up a piece of One Piece without it being chained to like 40 other things. And I feel like that's just too much to lift.
So I feel the opposite. This is a chance to jump in with no baggage. You can just start from the beginning here. And you could just say, I'm only watching the new One Piece. Which
I just feel
the
like
title of it is The One Piece. Which
great
just
title,
ties
by the way.
into the One Piece's real meme.
All right, we got to keep moving. That's
Yeah,
cool.
all right.
That's awesome that Wit's doing it. We probably won't even see it till maybe end of next year, probably 25, I bet.
Yeah. It's definitely their work with Spy Family definitely got them in the door for this One Piece shit.
A lot of the breakdowns on Reddit are like, yo, Wit's doing a fair amount of stuff right now. They're probably not going to be available for a hot minute.
That's fine. They're closing a lot of their other projects this year anyway. Moving along. Hero Academia is returning in May. The next movie's happening, and it's supposed to tie in with the current plot line, whatever that may be. Really doesn't matter because there's no U.S. date announced this movie, so we get fucked over again by this.
Frankly, who even like the last movie was just so not good.
I mean, not the movies. I care about this season, but
Sure, but like the movie was so
like when Hero Academia movie 1 came out, I was concerned. Like, I hope this isn't like Naruto, where the plots don't matter and I don't give a shit about the movies. And we're back to where I thought we'd be, where I just don't give a shit about the movies and the plots don't matter.
But it sucks because like movie 1 was really cool and it seemed like it was gonna matter, and they're like it matters, and then it didn't matter, and then 2 was like, okay, we still have one of the hypest endings humanly possible for something in My Hero. And
yeah,
then,
but 2 did the same, like retcon out the cool superpowers before we jump back to the real series shit that every shonen anime movie has ever done.
And
like,
that's why
1 is the only outlier.
Sucked so bad. 3 was fucking terrible.
And they're all gonna stay this way.
I'm sure that's why I'm saying it sucks that they fell off.
They fell right back into their shitty pattern, but it prints money, so they're gonna keep doing it.
Of course. I didn't see the announcement for this for even actually. Is it coming before or after the season starts?
It's gonna the movie's coming out mid-season, and it's going to tie into. Unfortunately, the fucking one-line descriptions just spoils the next arc of Hero Academia. So I was very upset that I even read about it. So listeners, if you don't give a shit about the movie,
Honestly,
read the synopsis because it just
spoils
spoils the plot of the next arc.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were about to say it, and I was like, please.
No,
don't.
I'm not gonna put you guys through that shit. I'm not gonna ruin stuff for you. But speaking of ruining stuff, the Jujutsu Kaisen author made a pretty interesting statement in Jump Fiesta that he expects this is the last Jump Fiesta where Jujutsu will still be serialized. He's very rapidly planning the finale of the series, which is certainly interesting. Jujutsu, from an anime perspective, is still it's still at the peak of its hype. So to hear that it's ending now gives me hope that Shonen Jump is just gonna pay Mappa to just animate the rest and not drag us out for an eternity here. One can hope. Moving along, we finally we're getting the Haikyuu movies to wrap out this entire franchise. It's movie 1 of 2 is coming out in February in Japan.
Battle of the Garbage.
Battle of the Garbage Patch. I'm concerned about how condensed it's going to be, but frankly, I don't give a shit. Canon movies are always cool. I like sports anime. In fact, I like sports anime so much.
There's going to be so much screaming in that theater. Holy shit.
In fact, I love sports anime so much that I was rushing to talk about Haikyuu and forgot to talk about Oblivion Battery. So,
what a name.
As you guys know, I fucking love any sports anime that comes out. It always has the same built-in structure to it. And while the last baseball anime I liked, Ace of Diamonds, was decent, it still came out like in a pre-2010 world, and it still feels like a pre-2010 anime. So it's kind of Oblivion Battery is going to be like the newest, freshest take on doing the normal baseball story. I don't know what the gimmick for this is. I think it's mostly just like this one pitcher and catcher combo or awesome or something. That's why they're the Oblivion Battery. Regardless, I'm excited for it. Trailer looked good. All the big name voice actors are in this one. It's gonna be super cool. And then same kind of thing with Kaiju number 8. We got our, I don't know if it was the first trailer, but it was a really good trailer came out showing off all the characters, all the VAs. The weirdest announcement from the trailer is that it's streaming worldwide on X, in parentheses Twitter, is what
Whoa.
the actual end of the trailer said. And I paused there for
No.
a second. I'm like, do they expect me to watch this on
No.
Twitter? Like, do they think I have Twitter installed on my PS5 to watch
No,
it?
dude.
Like who the fuck watches shows via Twitter?
Damn, that's bad.
I really hope they're just
Freeman,
advertising.
just
because
tell us when
Japan
the
loves
rips are
Twitter.
out from
There's-
the direct downloads from Twitter's source or whatever.
But like, there's no way it's exclusive to Twitter only. Like,
What a fucking joke.
they have to be licensing it to someone else, either Disney or Crunchyroll. Someone has to have.
Do they? Do they, Freeman? Do they have to?
Do
I
they?
don't want to enter the era where
Is
Elon
this
and
a
X
good
have
world? I'm
exclusive
not
streaming
sure.
rights. This is not the future I hoped for. Anyway, moving on. Last but not least, MF Ghost. Season 1 ended, and it ended on a cliffhanger with the very big, all bold English text to be continued next season, and then it just cuts to 2024. So, MF Ghost Season 2 confirmed.
You guys are getting a miracle.
It's a miracle this shit is still happening.
It is a miracle that this Toyota ad is still going.
Not
So you
lie.
know what? So I haven't finished it, but my prediction, or really my buddy's prediction, right? So because we were watching like the first like 4 episodes, and we're like, there's no fucking way that this 8.6, the new 8.6, would outpace fucking Ferraris and Porsches. Like, there's no way, no fucking shot. We think he's gonna get a Supra.
So, there's a gimmick to MF Ghost that hasn't come up yet. Once a racer enters a season, they can change which car they're driving, but it still has to be the same make. So, what you're thinking could still happen. As long as he drives a Toyota, he can still continue racing.
Yeah, like literally the only thing that would make sense is that if he drove a Supra. The new Supra that came out.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
I mean,
fucking
they
cars.
have this whole upgrade arc with, typical for Initial D franchises, but I don't think, how do I put this? Like, Initial D is very much, man, this kid is smoking everyone. Whereas MF Ghost is, man, this kid should be getting smoked, but he's doing pretty good. So I don't know if they're going to immediately jump into he's racing for the number 1 spot at every race. And I think the series just might be more and more of him getting better and starting to learn that the whole trick of MF Ghost is that it's the horsepower isn't everything or something. I don't know. This show is real fucking stupid.
I get that, and that's always been. But here's the thing, right? Like, that's always been the case in the original one. And I feel like you can get away with it, but even Bunta was like, "Yo, a car like your driving skill can only take you so far. Like,
Wasn't it, right
cars are
before he
gonna get
dumpsters in the
better."
WRX?
Yeah. Well, oh yeah. He literally he dumps Takumi one morning, and Takumi's like, "Who the fuck is he? Where'd that Subaru come from?" When he pulls up in his fucking house, and it's right there in the driveway. And I'm just like, damn, bro. And that's where, he has the whole thing where it's like, yo, the car can only take you so far.
Yeah.
And in this show, it's like, I don't know a lot about cars. Like, I have some surface level of, what could be good and what isn't. And it's, it's plain to see. And, especially, the roads like that, I feel like nuance can only take you so far.
Yeah.
I feel like it's clear that Toyota paid for this plot armor.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch. Like the parts that are fun to watch, but you can tell there's no shot. There's no way.
There's
Yeah.
no shot.
Like early Initial D was believable to a certain degree because there was always an explanation of how could a Toyota do this? Whereas this, it's very much of this is absolute horseshit. There's no way he should be able to do this.
Yeah, because
numbers.
Takumi could do crazy stupid shit like go into the fucking gutter. All right, yeah, I know.
They end up giving
Fucking
you an
Mr.
explanation
Game
on why
Awards
he's
over here trying to wrap us up over
Sorry,
here.
they end up giving you a
It's
good
15
explanation on why he's able
minutes.
to do this.
We're already almost an hour in, and we haven't even touched Best of the Year yet.
It's fine. It's gonna be fast. But that said, that's it for the Weeb shit.
Wait,
Let's talk about.
No. There was one more. Slime's coming back in spring. That was
Did we
confirmed
talk
also.
about that in the last episode?
I don't think so, because it was, or maybe we had, but it was reconfirmed. They showed off stuff during Jump Fest.
Oh,
Yeah.
before we get into best of though, also I found this news article Well, you were talking about which one were you talking about? Oh yeah, Oblivion Battery, because I was like, oh, I don't know anything about that. Stormlight 5 got a fucking release date next year for December 6th, and my dick is hard.
What's Stormlight 5?
That's the
Oh, the book,
Brandon
Stormlight
Sanderson
Archive.
Stormlight.
Nice.
Yeah, you know the one that I've been trying to get you to
Yeah, I
read
know.
for so long.
Yeah, sorry.
And it's the last book in the first arc. And it took him fucking 13 years to get here.
Yeah.
Granted,
Oh.
he wrote like 20 books in between, but you know.
Oh, also Demon Slayer. We forgot to talk about Demon
Wait,
Slayer.
what did they announce a season for
It's
it?
also Freeman. Spring of next year. Slime 3,
right.
Demon Slayer, My Hero, Mushoku Tensei, Camping.
Oh, so
Wait,
all the same stuff
Mushoku
is
next
coming out.
spring?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's right. It's the second half of season 2. All right,
Yes.
yeah.
So spring is stacked. Winter's going to be kind of shit. So
All right, let's wrap it
Yeah.
up,
Freeman
Tim.
keeps
Let's
talking
go.
about solo
Come
leveling,
on,
but
let's
doesn't
wrap
matter.
it up.
Best of the year.
Jeez.
Best of the year. Let's go. Woo! Good call, Freeman. That was best of the year. So, I think we've done it this way other years where we kind of go around and we have different categories and we do like a winner and 2 follow-ups of thing for the year, right? Haven't we
Yeah,
done that before?
I basically wrote my winner and a couple follow-ups for each of these categories.
Yeah, that's I went through real quick and I did my winner for the 3 categories I could contribute to, because I don't play video games, so I can't really contribute. Hey, my game of the year is Dead Space because it's the only game that came out this year that I played. The Dead Space remake was fucking great, guys. Actually, fuck it. Let's just do games since I just spoiled it. Tyler, what about you? What's your game of the year and some follow-ups?
My best game of the year was Resident Evil 4. Big fucking shocker. Surprise, surprise.
Pikachu face.
Yeah, I mean for multiple reasons, but you know,
Your
like
third
I've
most played
talked
game
about
according to
them.
your Steam wrap up.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I put more time into Starfield, but that's
By a
not
lot.
like one of my. The game was long.
No, I
That's
know that's
honestly
not a surprise.
why.
Like beating Starfield like what once is as long as it took you to play Resident Evil 4 like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I'll say this just as a comment for like Starfield in general and why Bethesda's salty. I have run through Resident Evil 4, I think 7
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god.
compared to Starfield, where they wanted you to play through that game like a bunch of times before you get the real ending.
And you're like, I don't care.
I only played it once. I mean, I had fun with Starfield. Don't get me wrong, and like it would be on that list of games I really enjoyed. But like,
So
I
hold
hate
on.
saying Nakey Jakey was right, but like he was right. Though.
Oh, he is
Yeah.
right, dude.
He's right.
I like his shit a lot. What are your 2 follow-ups, or if you had to pick a follow-up or 2?
Oh, was it oh my god, I almost skipped down to the movies. Jedi Survivor
Oh man.
Ooh.
was my follow-up. Dude, that was a whew,
Yeah, I know.
whew, the vapors.
Huh.
That was a good game. You know what? Maybe I might say maybe I will be lame and say Starfield. I think I had a lot of fun with Starfield. Like
Tyler, we started playing
legitimately,
Synthetic last year, right?
we did
Okay, so I
or
can't
2
say
years ago, or I don't know, 16. No, actually no, I lied. Sorry, not Starfield. Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say that
oh,
was
wait, no,
like
Tyler, Ready or Not came out this year.
yeah. So I like Ready or Not. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's not even a finished game.
That's fair. That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
But I am
We
gonna
do gotta
talk
play it
about
more,
it
but yeah.
later.
Okay.
But you know, yeah, that's
Um,
my games.
Freeman.
So
Oh yeah, do you
I
want to
pla-
explain the rules you asked for this
Yeah,
list?
yeah. So just for context, I played so few games that came out this year. Like Final Fantasy 16 and one of my other honorable mentions came out this year, but most of the games I played are older games this year. So I'll do the honorable mentions first. I don't want to put Final Fantasy 16 on here because I'm still not done with it. As much as I enjoy the game, I'm not like really, really in love with it. It's a quality game, but it's not. I'm not gonna say it's my game of the
Yeah,
year.
like, give me that itch. I
Synthetic, I
need
started
to
playing
try.
with you guys this year. I'm starting to get why it's good. I definitely want to play some more of it.
Yeah.
The only game that came out this year that's on here, and I put it on here just because they're still updating it, just got deck verified, but this goofy game called Stonks 9800.
Oh my god, that game!
I love this game so much. It's this pixel art aesthetic pretending you're
Yo.
like a stockbroker in like the 80s in Japan where the market was booming. Like everything about this is super nostalgic, from the graphics, the music. It is still like it's not a finished game. They have this whole roadmap for features they're going to add to it throughout the next year. I think it's just a silly, goofy game that I love playing. But my actual game of the year, because of time spent on it, is Slay the Spire. I
Wow.
like roguelikes, but I realize I don't have the greatest reaction time. So, like, I love Hades, but I'm not good at Hades. With Slay the Spire, it's a slow, strategical roguelike, and I love that about it. Like, I can just jump in, do a run while I'm doing something else, put it down mid-run, go do something, and come back and play it. So it's like, in terms of game structure, it's perfect for me. And I started playing it like February of this year. So even though it did not come out this year by a long shot, it's my game of 2023.
Wow. Nice. Next category, just to keep Tyler involved.
Damn.
Movies. Who wants to go first with movies? I went first with games technically, so one of you has to go first.
So I'll go. I'll do honorable mentions first. So it came out in 2022 in its country of origin, but it came out in the U.S. in 2023. You know, all of us saw it in 2023. So I am going to mention Kaguya: The First Kiss Never Ends was one of my favorite in theater experiences this year because it was just absolutely hysterical. But in terms of actual movies this year, I had to think real hard, and I didn't want to give it to Godzilla on recency bias. So I thought about just enjoyment in theaters and movies I'd want to rewatch, and the rewatchability played a big role here because it was, for me, it was between Spider-Verse and Oppenheimer, because I left Oppenheimer like jaw dropped. That was a quality movie, but it wasn't a movie I was rushing to see again. Whereas Spider-Verse 2, I immediately phoned my other friend. I'm like, yo, you guys want to see this movie's fucking dope, let's go see it again.
Man.
I was just in love with the animation of Spider-Verse. It's such, like, having already seeing it once and then watching it to ignore the plot and just purely stare at the animation frames, phenomenal. Do it again. So I gave Spider-Verse my movie of the year.
Damn, with follow-ups of what? Oppenheimer and
Oppenheimer and Kaguya, purely for the viewing in the theater.
I'm gonna
experience.
jump in before Tyler because I'm gonna steal Tyler's thunder a little bit here because Freeman already took some of mine.
Sorry.
So I too am gonna give Spider-Verse my movie of the year. I also
Let's go.
rewatched that movie. I watched it on Netflix on the plane when I was going to Vegas for work a month and a half ago. That movie is so fucking good, just top to bottom. There's so many little jokes all the time happening, and the animation, like you said, is just so gorgeous. I can't. Most anticipated movie. When we do the 2025 or 2024 video podcast next time, that's going to be the top. I don't know if we're going to get it next year with all the strikes and everything and the working conditions stuff that came out, but this is still my most anticipated movie. My follow-ups, the D&D movie, speaking of rewatchability, that movie surprised me so much, and it was, like you said with Kaguya Freeman, it was such a fun experience for all of us to go see that as our D&D group together in person. That was really special that we got to do that, and it was just an awesome, fun movie that I have rewatched since. I showed it to my dad, and I was like, yeah, this is still a banger. Like, this is still super fun to watch, and for non-D&D people and D&D people, it's a great time. And fuck recency bias, Godzilla Minus One is like one of the best, is like the best Godzilla movie of all time. It's only not winning because of Spider-Verse. Minus One was way too fucking good. This movie is fantastic, and anyone who even sort of likes Godzilla should watch Minus One. It's so good. Tyler, what's your movie of the year?
My movie of the year is Godzilla Minus One, because there was this year was dry.
Yeah, there were so.
This year was so dry. I mean,
I actually had a couple others that were really good when I looked at my letterboxd while we've been talking. But these three are the cream of the crop.
I was gonna say, that being said, like I do, like, even if this year was good with movies, I think Godzilla Minus One was objectively very good. And I've recommended it to literally everybody.
I mean, Tyler,
Michelle thinks I was crazy.
Well, she's nuts. You gave it a straight 5 on Letterboxd. As much as you
did.
make fun of me, you do not do that much.
I don't. I don't do that much. And you want to know what I gave a 5 to also this year?
Oh, let's go.
What?
I mean, it was brought up already.
Oh no.
What?
No, go,
Oppenheimer?
I'm kidding.
Spider-Verse?
Go ahead.
Come on.
It's Spider-Man.
Kaguya?
Oh, Spider-Verse.
Duh.
I thought you were talking about the other
Yeah.
movie, the A24 one.
Oh, Bo is
Oh, Bo is
Afraid.
Afraid.
Oh,
Oh,
I
Bo.
gave Bo is Afraid like a 4. I didn't give it a like though.
Oh, wow.
I didn't give it a heart. I probably wouldn't watch that movie again. But like,
Oh yeah, I see
I
that.
did
I'm
like
going
it.
through your letterbox right now while we're talking.
Yeah, I'll say I did. I liked Bo is Afraid. I'm not gonna give it a heart. I'm probably not gonna watch it again, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless you're into that weird shit.
Other than
but
Friedman.
like,
Yes.
maybe you might be. I don't. I honestly
I
don't
enjoy
know.
weird movies.
So Tyler,
It is weird.
I think I know what your follow up is based on your letterbox, but go ahead and what's your other follow up?
No, I want to hear this guess. What do you think?
Well, I'm just going off your stars. It's off your stars. It's Oppenheimer.
Well, you'd be wrong.
Okay, I literally am just
Yeah.
going off of what your letterbox.
That's fine. Wait,
says.
what did I give Oppenheimer?
Four
I
and a
gave
half,
it a 4.5.
dude. Yeah.
But did I give it that heart though?
No, you didn't. You
See, if you look above Oppenheimer, I gave Sword of the Stranger a 4.5 and a like. But that movie didn't come out this year.
Yeah, Tyler,
no,
I'm
that's
sorting.
an old one. I still want to watch that.
Thanks to Letterboxd's amazing filters, I wish I can sort your diary by what came out this year, so I can see that it took until April for you to watch a movie that came out this year.
Yeah.
Let's see. Based on your hearts, it would be D&D, Extraction 2, or The Killer are your options.
All bangers except The Killer, but that for some reason I learned something of myself, and the runner up though, right, like after Spider-Man is The Killer, because I learned something about myself
Okay.
when I watched The Killer. Number 1, wouldn't recommend that movie to like anybody.
Of course.
Another one. Not every time. Not every time. Like, yo, if anybody out there, if none of you have seen Sword of the Stranger, fucking watch it. And that's a banger.
Yeah,
I'll watch that movie again with you guys.
Okay. Before Knitting
good.
Circle. Before
Knitting Circle, dude. Yo, we can watch it during Knitting Circle. Dude, it's so good.
I don't think you'll be able to focus, Tyler, if you're doing it during
Studio
Knitting Circle.
Bones is like best fucking shit in my opinion. But anyway, whatever. The Killer came out, and I learned that I like nihilistic movies that like where the characters are like nothing matters, everything is shit, and it's not like the character is good, it's just like, I don't know, there's like a certain like mood that I like. It's like this weird,
it's like the tone of the whole film, not just how the character acts.
Yeah, right. Especially in this movie, like Michael Fassbender is actually very good in this movie. He's, in my opinion, the best thing about this movie. But like, his character's not that great. Like, the movie boasts about how like he is this like excellent killer, how he's the shit, right? And like, it shows how much like how successful he was. But through every single action, he blunders himself through it. Like, this is a character that like at one point was successful, and he just completely stumbles through his like goals throughout the entire movie.
Damn.
It's very weird. But I liked it. I thought it was good. I literally didn't get distracted throughout the entire movie. I really liked it.
Nice.
But it's one of those movies I would not recommend. However, I would recommend a similar thing called Collateral. It came out in like 2004 with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. It has that similar feel. I recommend that movie to like most people. So if you want to know like what I am talking about, I recommend that movie. Is great. But yeah, those are my movies.
All right.
Okay, so non-animated television. I legitimately I can't think of any non-chopped or HGTV related shows.
Oh my god.
Val and I don't watch much, dude. What do you want from me?
Don't watch much. You guys literally throw that HGTV garbage on all the time.
Okay, who's you guys? Val does.
You're
Yeah,
there,
throw 'em
Dope.
under the
My
bus.
favorite show of the year is Great British Baking, followed by Movies That Made Us and Toys That Made Us. There you go. Oh no,
Those are
wait,
good
shit,
picks.
no. This isn't anime. Castlevania Nocturne came out. That's like one of
I
the
was
only
gonna as an honorable
non-anime that
mention
I.
for anime because it's not anime, but
No,
yeah, that's technically.
we're talking about normal shows. That's all I got. All right, go
That's a
Freeman.
cartoon
Or go.
show.
Actually, Tyler, you got to go first. You
I'll
haven't
say,
go
damn,
first yet.
I didn't go first for any of this
That's
shit.
why I'm saying
Go ahead, go first.
God
Or
damn.
second, I guess.
My favorite show. Yeah, I'm already second. Don't matter. I know this is Tim's
Oh my
podcast. I
God.
get it, bro. I get it.
It is the Timpedia
Shut
podcast.
the. F-
It is.
It's in the name.
It's in the name. My favorite show this year was Silo. It was on Apple TV, I think. Yeah. I
Second
think
was
I
The Last
talked
of Us.
about it before. It's about it's a dystopia where these people live in this like silo, and it's basically a Fallout TV show, which was announced actually. Funny enough, it's gonna air on Amazon. It's probably gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Like Halo season 2 that's coming out, also gonna be shit.
What?
What?
No.
No. But yeah, I thought Silo was pretty good. I really enjoyed the world building and the plot. It asks a question at the beginning of the season, and then by the end of the season, we get the answer to that question. All the character arcs get kind of like completed in a nice bow, and on top of that, it's just a good story.
Would you recommend the show to the average person? Just because my other friend group, we're going through Apple TV while we can.
I do.
Oh,
I do
shoot.
highly recommend this show.
I need to watch the Monarch show. I have a temporary access to an Apple TV account.
Yeah, my
I need
other
to watch
group's
the
about to start
Monarch show.
Severance soon, so we're just trying to like catalog all the good ones on Apple TV right now.
Yeah, I do recommend Silo. I thought it was very good. The runner-up is gonna be interesting. Actually, I think I should have switched this with the other one, but I do think it's one of the best adaptations I have seen, especially from a story that I really enjoyed interacting with, but The Last of Us. I
I
thought
would
it was
expect that to be your number one, just because
yeah,
everyone praising it.
it was a good show. I think the pacing for the last episode was not great, but overall it was a very good package. Silo was just really good. Like Silo hit pretty well. But yeah, Last of Us was really good. I also recommend that show. They changed up the story for a little bit, but like all the story beats pretty much were the same, and like the stuff that they did change wasn't bad in the slightest. And my last one is Beef. It was a Netflix show. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
Mm-mm.
I feel like I saw the trailer for this. Hold on.
You might have. It has the guy who plays Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Yes, I saw the trailer for this. It looked weird.
Oh, it gets so it's a dramedy that gets really weird the last two episodes. it gets really fucking weird. They lean into the whole um Korean, like a Korean American kind of like caste system thing. Like that I feel like that's been a big thing about like what's been popular with like at least as far as like Korean drama goes with like the mainstream stuff lately. And it kind of leans in on that. But it's pretty good. I like the characters. It's funny. And the acting is very the talent's very good. But that's it.
I gotta make some time. I was interested when the trailer came out, but hearing you praise it is convinced me I should probably watch it.
Yeah, it's good. I think just like movies though, I think TV was kind of light this year too, but actually, you know what? I wouldn't say it was light. There was a lot of garbage. Like stuff like Twisted Metal came out. I watched the Special Ops, the Lioness. Taylor Sheridan worked on this show. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I recognize the name, but I don't remember who it is.
He wrote Sicario.
Oh, cool.
It has a strong start, but like the show isn't like that great. Like what else? Invincible season 2 came out this year, but it's not finished. There's a lot of stuff that came out, but like I felt like didn't really hit this year.
It's funny. Video games seem to have a great year, and then like a lot of other things didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Ahsoka came out this year, right?
Totally
Like, and
forgot.
Oh,
that didn't really hit. Like
was
it
Andor
was.
was Andor last year?
Oh shit, was Andor last year? Wait.
I don't think so. Actually, I think that was this year too.
Oh no, it was last year. No, it was
Oh.
last year.
Okay.
I didn't watch it until this year though, because
that's
Michelle and I
valid.
were like skeptical.
That's valid for this year. Tyler Freeman made our rule that it's stuff that you did this year that could have been any year.
Oh shit, then I'll get rid of Beef. I mean, Beef is really good. Like, I'm not like, don't sleep on Beef. Like Freeman,
But
if you
Andor.
want to watch Beef, I do think you would probably like Beef actually.
All right. Cool.
Like Beef is good. I would not like sleep on Beef. I think it's legitimately good. Like that's actually a show that I would recommend to anybody. Like if I walked up to some random person and I didn't know their taste, I would recommend it to them. Even with it being weird at the very end, it's good.
It's weird, but like normal enough that a regular person can appreciate it.
Yes, especially
Right,
the premise. The premise is like just wild. But I was pleasantly surprised about Andor when we watched it. Like I wasn't expecting anything from it. I thought it was gonna be ass.
And
And
ended up impressing.
yeah, it was good. I really liked Andor.
Nice. All right. So I have 3 shows I'm going to talk about here. My runner-up, my technicality runner-up, and then the actual show I enjoyed the most this year. The first runner-up that did come out this year was Only Murders in the Building season 3. This show has been kind of a hard to recommend because it's a little wonky. It's a little out there. If you were ever a theater kid, this show is like right up your alley. This season they were producing a whole musical in the background while they're trying to solve the murder mystery. And I thought it was just so well done. They had so many big new cast members. Like they had Meryl Streep, they had Paul Rudd on this season. Phenomenal, great show. I still recommend it to people, even if season 1's a little wonky.
What was the name of that called again?
Only Murders in the Building. It's a Hulu exclusive.
Oh.
But Steve Martin and Martin Short steal that show. They're so good in it. And I think it's the last thing Steve Martin is allowing himself to be cast in. He's not doing any of the movies and shows. He's just staying with the show. And once it ends, he's done with acting. So interesting way to go out. But the show, my favorite show that I'm watching this year didn't come out this year. I think season 3 of it was last year. We wanted to end it, but Ted Lasso. I'm going through my other friend group now. It's been unusual to see a high quality show that has this wholesome storytelling to it. I don't watch a lot of shows that are like this, and I feel like I miss it. So I really love Ted Lasso, but unfortunately, it's not a show that came out this year. So of the shows that came out this year that I actually enjoyed the most, it was Fall of the House of Usher. So I started watching a bunch of the shows that this director did, Mike Hannigan. Like he did, was it like not Haunting of Hill House?
No, I like that first season
I think it
though.
was Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, that was good.
And he did Bly Manor. I watched oh my god, I'm trying to blank on all the names. Midnight Mass was the first show I saw by him where I was like, this is kind of interesting mystery storytelling. But Fall of the House of Usher, it wasn't groundbreaking in the storytelling. The story opens with, I'm not going to go too in depth, but like this guy's lamenting the fact that all 6 of his kids died in like a week. This guy is like a multi-billionaire owner of a pharmaceutical company. All the kids died in a week, and it's told in the flashback of just what happened. So there's not a lot of twists. At the beginning of every episode, you can pretty much figure out what's going to happen, but the way they show it to you, I thought was really well done. I enjoyed the shit out of it, even though I think it was a little overhyped. But Fall of the House of Usher was my new show of 2023.
Nice.
All right. Now for the topic that everybody's been waiting for. The Weeb Shit Part 2. Let's talk about Best Anime of the Year. So, Tim, you split yours into sequels and non-sequels?
Yeah, because I had 2 shows that really both deserve to win. So I was like, one's a sequel, one's not a sequel. So I'll just make 2 separate categories and cheat.
All right. I realize everything I was going to talk about is technically a sequel, except for a technicality pick I wanted to talk about. But in terms of non-technicalities, non-sequels, the only one I watched this year that I genuinely enjoyed was Oshinoko. So if I had to do best non-sequel, I think that ends up winning for me. Gotcha. Outside of my technicality pick, which is Blue Lock, because it started airing in 22, but the the back half, when I actually legitimately started loving Blue Lock, started telling everyone to watch it, was those 12 episodes aired in January when Vinland was airing. So on a technicality, I'd say Blue Lock's a 23 anime.
So Friedman,
and on that technicality, I'd put it in here.
So it's funny you say that because my two runner-ups for new anime of 2023 is Oshinoko and Blue Lock.
Hell yeah. One brain cell.
Oshinoko, I was looking through my MAL scores, and Oshinoko, as much as I had a few frustrations with it, still looked gorgeous, had great music, still a banger opening, best song and the most popular song in the world outside of America and all that jazz. Oshinoko was really good, even if I had a few very minor gripes with it. It's still better than a lot of the stuff I watched this year. And Blue Lock was so... You were there, Freeman, to rewatch when I was watching with Val for the first time. I was so fucking hype in these matches. Dude, when he tells King to get out of the way because he's garbage, like, fucking hype his shit around, man. I was loving that.
Oh, wait, quick Blue Lock joke. When I'm watching MF Ghost, the voice actor for Barrow is there.
Oh,
and he
no, Barrow, yeah.
And he uses the phrase, this kind of race is a devour or be devoured race. And I'm just doing the Leo snapping and pointing at the TV meme.
But my new anime of the year is not even close. It's not even over yet, and to me it feels like cheating, but Frieren is so much better than anything else new that came out this year. It's like not even close for me.
Yeah, it's no competition.
It's the guy who did the music for Violet Evergarden. It's some of the most bizarrely smooth animation in the most simple moments. The ending song hits me in the gut every time. The story is so wonderful and peaceful. I love it so much. Like, Frieren is so unfairly the best show of the year.
And most importantly, it's not an isekai. I cannot stress
this.
enough.
It's just a fantasy. It's just a fantasy. It's great. Or it would be the show of the year, but if they had to go head-to-head, Vinland Saga Season 2 is still the best show of the year in terms of anime, and is the anime sequel of the year, not even close. Vinland Saga is the first show since Violet Evergarden to break 10 out of 10 for me on MAL. Vinland Saga Season 2 was one of the most special watches of the year, and rewatching it with Leslie until, of course, I had to miss the last 3 episodes to take care of my son while you guys finished it without me. And by you guys, I mean Tyler, Val, and Leslie. Doesn't matter. Still the best show of the year, not even close. Torfinn's arc, the 2 arcs of the show, all the moments that hit hard. It's impeccably directed, gorgeous, fantastic music. The animation is so great. There are so many moments in that season I still rewatch on YouTube, which is impressive considering finally the ending of Attack on Titan came out this year. So I feel like kind of honorarily that earns its spot as a sequel because it did finally end Attack on Titan this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Attack on Titan is still one of my favorite franchises of all, but I did not. While it's a fine ending, I didn't think highly of the last 2 movies. If they had
Friedman,
released it as a single movie,
when we're going over the Crunchyroll Awards, when we can vote on that, not on the podcast, but when we discuss it and vote on the Crunchyroll Awards, I'm not going to vote for Attack on Titan for anything. But if I need a follow up to Vinland, I actually couldn't find many sequels that were that good. Speaking of which, Eminence in Shadow Season 2 is my second follow-up sequel. I mean, Shadow is one of the best comedy anime I've ever watched.
I gotta say, it's clever. It's clever writing to make him both so overpowered and so stupidly incompetent. Like, it's one thing to think like, wow, this is a lazy isekai or whatever, but like, it's so meticulously thought out to make it as stupid as humanly possible that I'm just so impressed by it.
This season isn't quite as good as season 1, but that doesn't mean much when it still absolutely has me busting a gut laugh every single episode at the dumb shit that Sid does by accident. Like, the whole arc, Friedman, where he caused the credit of his own store to collapse, and they all were like, oh my god, you were galaxy braining the whole time, when in reality his only plan had been to copy money because he just was like, I can photocopy money and have free money.
He's just like forgery's cool. Is his whole motivation for that arc?
He was at level 1 and everyone thought he was at level 100 when actually they're all at level 50, and it just happens that level 1 lined up with level 100. Like, so funny. Or the first arc where he just repeats the cool line he hears like 5 times.
Oh my god.
Time is almost
Annihilation's
up.
coming,
The blood
whatever
is
the fuck it
red.
was.
The moon's blood red.
The same 3 lines. Evidence is good.
Fantastic. Also not
So-
done yet, but it's about to end, so it's more fair than Freerun, because Freerun has a whole second core.
Yeah. Free run is the second half. I was gonna wait. I was gonna say if I'm gonna allow Blue Lock this year, that it means free run's eligible next year. So I just gotta remember that.
Sure, I'll just
Free
have it
run's
win
probably
next
gonna
year
go
too.
for next
But yeah, those are my anime of the year. 2 of them
So-
aren't even done yet, and one of them came out last year, but it doesn't really matter.
So for considering sequels, I had to make an important choice here because while Vinland 2 is the super obvious answer, there's one that competed and it was for me and me only, and I hesitate to even give it here, but Fate Strange Fake Whispers of Dawn came out this year, which it's like it aired as a
Rolls
mini
off the
movie, but
tongue.
in reality, it's just episode 1 of the Fate Strange Fake that's coming out, I guess, next year. And I want to cement why this is the best Fate. So this is the Avengers of the Fate franchise. This is a completely disconnected story, but it involves so many characters who've appeared in other Fate franchises that having knowledge of them elevates Fate Strange Fake, but it's not mandatory to have seen them. Like it's starting to get to like the Marvel problem, where in order to watch Fate Strange Fake, you need Fate Stay Night to know who Gilgamesh is. You need Fate Zero to know what Waver's motivations are, but you need to watch the Waver spinoff show to know about his student, who's the strongest mage ever to exist, and why he's summoning Jack the Ripper, who's in Fate Grand Order. Enkidu, who's also in Fate
Jesus.
Grand Order, who's Gilgamesh's main rival, is summoned, and you won't know anything about him if you didn't watch either Fate Grand Order Babylonia or play the 7th chapter of Fate Grand Order. On top
Freeman.
of all of this, there's characters who did make alternate appearances in the alternate timeline of Fate Apocrypha.
Oh my god.
There are so many other references to Fate woven into this 1-hour movie that I was sitting there just losing my mind when I saw this. I meme about Fate. Everyone memes about Fate, but like this is the payoff for believing in the memes. And I cannot wait for Fate Strange Fake to come out in 2024. So it was a contender, but unfortunately, it was just 1 episode, not a full, complete season like Vinland Season 2 was. So
Freeman, can I just say, you say that that's only for you, but Fate is like one of the biggest franchises in Japan. So clearly there are plenty of people who are on the same page as you.
Sorry, I should clarify. It's only for me. Among people I know who watch anime, it's only for me.
Because only you watch Fate. That's true.
Well, even then,
And play the game.
Like my buddies Dave and Sasha, they've watched like Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero, but that's it. They haven't gone any deeper
So
than
one
that.
more anime than us. Got it.
Yeah, and if you guys watch Unlimited Blade Works, congratulations, you're caught up with the rest of my friends. Which, please, for the love of God, please, let's watch Unlimited Blade Works. Please.
Freeman, what's your other sequel?
I'm not trying to get you into the rest of Fate. Unlimited Blade Works is just good.
What's the other sequel?
Unlimited Blade Works?
No,
The-
what's your other anime of the year sequel?
Oh no, that was it. It was between Strange Fake and Vinland Saga Season 2. We already talked about Castlevania, and my technicality was Blue Lock. But that was it for anime.
Oh, okay. I think that covered all the categories. Unless Tyler, you want to go over books? I only have like one book, which was Red Rising, which was pretty fucking
Red
good.
Rising. It was good. Which was it? Oh yeah, my favorite book that I read this year. I mean, none of these. 2 of these came out this year. I guess Red Rising was good.
Hmm.
It didn't like hit me though
Really?
as much as I wanted it to. There was like some scenes where I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." As most of it was basically Lysander just being a fucking loser.
Oh my
Like-
god, it gets you so mad though.
Like he's just a
It
piece
gets
of
me
garbage.
so mad though. He's such
Nah, maybe that is
garbage.
my runner-up. Nah, that is my runner-up. Never mind.
That's fine.
That is my runner-up. That was a man. Fuck that motherfucker.
Yep.
That gold piece of shit.
Oh my god, it gives Gold a
my-
bad name.
Honorable mention is Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson. It's one of the 4 books that came out this year. But my favorite book that I read this year was Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie, though. I think I talked about it. It's from that. It's like smack dab in the middle of the first Law series. It's one of the standalone novels. Really like it. Really like it. That's about it as far as books go.
It's another year in the books.
Another year in the books, baby.
All right. So we got a little bit of time left. Do we want to speed run some watch play it, or do you guys want to call it?
No. Let's. When are we gonna? Most of this stuff wasn't. If anything of this stuff wasn't on our thing of the year, then it won't make it to next year. So we might as well do it now.
All right, cool. So blitz through anime, and I guess the 2 movies I did alone first. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the decline of the Shield Hero. So at moment of recording, there's 1 episode remaining. I have not seen episode 11 yet, but I'm just gonna tell you guys, definitively ditch this franchise. Season 2,
already done.
with this weird turtle arc, was an important story arc that was executed very poorly in the anime. Come season 3, we're spending all 12 of these episodes in this weird filler bridge arc before the next big beast, the Phoenix, shows up. And these are all pivotal side stories because I'll just spoil it right here. Like the heroes have to work together. That has to happen. And this season is filler bullshit as they start learning to work together. But what happened right from the get-go is, you know how like they resolved the whole plot line with Bitch? Her whole plot line's resolved, and how we've already seen her pull this routine on Naofumi. It'd be a shame if she did the same thing to the Sword Hero 2 episodes in, and he just blatantly falls for it. It'd be a real shame. But you know what'd be a bigger shame? If then the Bow Hero proceeds to fall for the same fucking thing a 3rd time. They just keep repeating the same storyline we've already done, all while introducing new waifus along the way. And they all keep following him around. He's now wandering with a pack of 9 waifus into any given fight. It's like the show's becoming a parody of itself. It fucking sucks. I am so disappointed what happened with Shield Hero. Avoid this. Don't watch it. I don't think there's going to be a season 4.
So glad I didn't bother.
And then I want to talk about MF Ghost because I finished it today. I remember being very optimistic at the beginning of the season that this was it. This is the way people can get into the initial D franchise because it's new. It has better animation. It doesn't look quite as dated. I take that back. MF Ghost is very much you're an initial D fan, so you're going to watch this. I don't think it's a great entry into the franchise. Yes, it's modern. We talked earlier about how it's just a load of horseshit that this 8.6 is keeping up with like Lamborghinis. But I have some issues with the production of this show. The animation's fine, voice acting's fine. And they do include Eurobeat races, but they've done this every single episode, and I don't know what the fuck they're smoking. The character will start driving fast, they'll start playing Eurobeat, and then they'll cut away from the racing to someone else talking and just dim the Eurobeat in the background. And then a lot of these songs, they'll end the song before the chorus plays. Or they'll cut to commercial during the Eurobeat song and come back to no Eurobeat. Yep. And it has me thinking, Avex Media, the company that owns Super Eurobeat, definitely is charging through the nose. And they're like, well, fine, if we don't use the chorus, can we get this song rights for cheaper? And it feels like they're not doing it correctly. Like, I wish I could do a new mix of this show where you play Eurobeat at different parts. Or focus, like, the point of Eurobeat in Original Initial D was that this is like pre-Toy Story CG. It looked bad. You needed something to make these blocky cars moving look exciting. So you played Eurobeat over the driving. And the fact that they keep cutting away from the driving when the Eurobeat's playing is the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. And every time a song plays, I just keep thinking like, great, now they're going to cut away from the driving. And of course they did.
And that's what happens. Yeah, I wondered that too. I was like, but this is literally supposed to like amplify the hypeness. Like
they're just like, they're doing it wrong. I can't word it any other way, but like, I still enjoy MF Ghost.
Wrong,
dude. When you hear that, you know what time it is.
Watch like Fourth Stage again. It had all the like that had like Forever Young with the turning the lights on and off battle.
Yes,
so many good moments. And the show does have a little bit of a problem with. I think we're all starting to get to the point where we're not willing to put up with anime bullshit anymore. And this show has this subplot where the main characters, like the girl whose family he's staying with, she is essentially a cheerleader for this race organization. And not like once or twice an episode.
I know exactly where you're
going. The camera guy will zoom in on her ass. And I don't mean like the camera guy for the show. I mean the camera guy who's filming the race that we're watching will zoom in on her ass, and you'll cut to like bars across Japan where people are watching this camera guy zoom in on her ass as everyone's talking about her. But then, like, her dad is also watching on TV, and he doesn't say anything about this. There's so much obsession about this girl. You have two characters who won't shut up about only liking to date 17-year-olds, which I'll clarify is legal in Japan, but it's still not cool. It's really creepy that this is like an extended plot line about 17-year-olds. It's weird, and it really takes me out of the show.
Yeah,
That's my skating review, Ben.
I agree. I don't like it either.
I'm at the point where I'll say, if you're not already an Initial D fan, I don't recommend just jumping in on this. Just go, if you're curious, just go watch Initial D. As old as it may be.
Yeah, you get the hype Eurobeat.
Um,
And you too might spend tens of thousands of dollars on a JDM car that might break down on you, just like every other person at these car meets I go to.
Hey kids, do you want to own a 1986 Toyota Corolla? Does that sound cool? No, we'll watch this anime.
Watch this anime. Dude, I've been here. I had this guy, like, oh my god, my buddy has a 1994 like BMW E36. It's not, you know, it means nothing to you guys. Honestly, it means nothing to me. I don't really give a shit. But man, when I tell you this fucking kid at this like drift event we went to, he's like, "Bro, you got an E36." I thought he was gonna suck the skin right off of his dick, bro. Like he was like, how, are you willing to sell it? How much are you gonna sell it for? And he's like, "Bro, I'm not selling my car." He's like, "All right, well, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, like, you'd probably get a lot for that car." It's like, honestly, like, if you were to buy it, like, for real, like, for what the actual car is probably worth, without the hype and shit, it's probably like, you'd probably buy that shit for like $1,000, maybe even $2. But for like all this inflated stuff, like literally like a Nissan 240SX or like any of these other cars that are like JDM cars, they're fucking pieces of shit. Like, they're barely worth the scrap metal that they're worth, but like it's because of literally this show that they're like, oh my god, like I saw something. Like, you buy it, like, what? How much is an RX-7 FD? Hold on, now we'll go to the next thing.
RX-7's a cool car.
They are cool, but like,
cool. Freeman jumping in. That's a cool car.
yeah, I'm like mildly on
50,
cars.com. Fucking
between 40 and 80K, something along
those 40 lines. And 80K for a car that came out in 93, bro.
Money. That's a crazy range.
93, like, come on, like there's no fucking way, like that's not right. It's not right because Initial D.
It's not right. It's
not
right.
Also, well, actually, you know what? For the FD, I also will say red FDs from Fast and Furious 1. It was Dom Toretto's car.
Oh.
I will say that's good mileage. I see one on cars, an FD used, obviously 41,000 miles is not bad.
That is a low amount of miles for that old of a car.
Less than my fucking Challenger.
My Forester is going to beat it pretty soon.
Jeez. Okay. But yeah, yo, we talked about. Are we in? Oh no, Villainess.
Wait.
Tim,
talk about your anime that you finished.
So the season is literally wrapping up this week for the end of the year. And Val and I have, I think, Freeman, we talked about this the other night, but within like a week, Val and I are gonna have 7 more shows finished for this season. But only one of them has finished so far. And last night we finished I'm in Love with the Villainess, which Silverlink is doing while they refuse to make more
of another
actual Villainous content. Huh?
I said of another Villainous anime.
Yeah, another Villainous anime because they seem to do one every season. This one was just fine. It's a funny premise of, oops, I'm in an Otome game, but this girl played every single route and fell in love with the girl who is the evil character in all the storylines because she's so sad instead of all the hot boys. Instead of being too dumb to know people like her, she's just in love with another girl as she gets reborn as a girl, and that's obviously like, oh. Now, I will say the show does touch on the fact that they are both girls. Like, it's not something that they act like isn't true. So they actually kind of do touch on, like, oh, are you not a lesbian? Do you not like girls? But then they just kind of brush all that aside and then turn it into, well, if you try hard enough, you can make anybody love you, I guess. Um, yeah, it's a little bit of a, but they do honestly have like frank conversations, which is really interesting for an anime. Like in episode 3, they're like, "So you're a girl and you love another girl, right? And you know she doesn't really like girls." And she's like, "Yeah, I know, but I still love her." And they're like, "Okay, that's
All
interesting."
right.
So it's got that going for it, but it felt like by the end it was just really tropey. The animation never really does very much. It's pretty bare bones. It's kind of just another Silverlink thing, but the comedy isn't nearly as good as Baccarina. So like,
Baccarina.
she is brain damage, and it's so great. It's I Freeman. We talk about our Mal scores a lot. I realize that as much as I love and I remember Villainous itself, and I'm using the names interchangeably because everyone should know what Villainous I'm talking about. The fact that I only gave most Villainous seasons like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 meant that this being okay compared to that was like, this is locked in at a hard 6. So this is fine. If you're looking for something with like a kind of, it's just another school thing. It's another isekai into a school to fall in love with somebody. But like, the premise is just not as funny. There were comments on Reddit that were like, "Oh my god, it's so heartfelt," but like, they literally create conflict with a new character in the last few episodes, and then they turn it around in 5 seconds, and it's like, again, the real Villainous show does the same thing, but the brain damage carries you with comedy the whole way through, and it's just that really is the weight. Like, what does it say that 2 of my favorite comedy shows are all about characters with severe brain damage?
Life is too short to take anime seriously is what it's saying.
Speaking of Villainous, we need to finally get that movie. I don't know when the fuck that's supposed to finally come out, but we need to actually get the Villainous movie next year, because it's been way too long since they announced that.
What's going on?
But we can go into real movies, because Tyler watched a lot of real movies.
I did. I watched a lot of real movies.
Real movies.
I did not watch Source Code, though.
No, the first 2 are me. So on the flight back from Colorado last week, we were looking through my computer for stuff, and Source Code's a movie that I've wanted to see since it came out and just never got around to watching it. It was certainly an interesting concept. This is Jake Gyllenhaal's in this train simulation trying to figure out why the train blew up. Have you guys both seen this movie?
Nah.
I did a long time ago.
So
wait, hold on.
weird.
Sorry, real quick pause. Godzilla Minus One black and white theatrical version announced.
What?
That's pretty
damn.
hot.
This is like limited edition merch. We got to see this.
Limited edition.
It's the day before my birthday. My birthday weekend. This is going to be in theaters. I don't know if that's only in Japan. It might only be in Japan, but I'm literally on Reddit and I see Godzilla Minus One black and white theatrical. Here's the poster. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, it was interesting. I thought the ending kind of sucked. It definitely reeks of like there's this weird subgenre movies where it's like it wants to be sci-fi technical, but in order to keep the mystery of the tech, they're just not going to explain anything about it to you, to the point that the tech just feels kind of weird. I didn't really like that about Source Code. It was an interesting story. I left feeling kind of like cheated by how goofy the ending was. And then last Friday I watched Drive with I mean, what's his name? Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
No,
the movie was very much my aesthetic. The entire group I watched it with just could not stand this movie. They didn't get what was going on. They didn't understand what the appeal of the movie was.
That's it. That's all they need to know.
I was like, soundtrack feel, cars, hearing the engine roar in like the 3 scenes that matters. That was all I was here for. I will say there was just like this movie had an alarming amount of awkward silence where it's just 2 characters staring at each other smiling. Like 2 characters basically form a relationship after 3 minutes on screen where only 2 sentences are said, and they're just kind of staring and smiling at each other for a majority of it. Very odd movie.
Yeah, it's Rocky.
But all in all, I enjoyed the movie. It was a very weird one. I kind of just wish there was more driving. Maybe I just need to watch Fast and Furious.
No, you just need to watch Baby Driver.
I've already seen Baby Driver. That's the problem. I very much like Baby. Maybe I should just watch it again.
Tyler, before. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. This is still me and Friedman now.
Before
this is the last one for me. The January 12th date for Godzilla is Japan only. No word on U.S. release yet.
Damn, I can't believe we have to fly all the way to Japan on January 12th.
If I didn't have someone visiting me for my birthday, I might fly to Japan just to go see this movie in black. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, I was about to say, damn.
No, we'll see it. It's okay. The three of us can go again once it's in black and white in theaters.
I mean, we can just pirate it, and I can manually screen correct to black and white here.
Whoa. Why would you do that when you could go see the movie again in theaters?
I don't really pay him money. I gotta pay for a wedding later. Like, that shit.
Tyler.
Gonna hit.
But that roar, though, it the whole theater.
Yeah, I experienced it. I don't need to experience it in black and white.
So speaking of so cool, after literally a year and a half since Suzume came out in Japan.
Oh my god, I remember seeing trailers for it for every summer movie that came out in 2022.
Freeman, Val, and I finally, right? It was only the three of us?
Yeah, it was the three of us had watched this Makoto Shinkai film.
Right, it was a Sunday where like no one else was available, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Thursday. You came over on a Thursday. We watched, Makoto Shinkai's newest movie. He's probably already halfway done with his next one. Suzume. This is the one that had the chair with the three legs. It had the really good song in the trailer.
The cool door.
What? The door thing. I mean, it didn't make it on any of my top of the year lists. It was good. It was gorgeous. Boy, the story is like the most...
It felt a lot like Your Name in terms of story structure. I would say the ending felt a little more complete, but Makoto Shinkai is very famous for just like not liking to complete the endings of his movies. It was a Makoto Shinkai out of 10 is the best way to describe this. Like if you've watched Your Name, if you've watched Garden of Words, you know what you're getting yourself into here. It was a very beautiful movie that
so
kind of
pretty.
Meandered and got a little confusing with its plot and why certain things were happening and who these cats were.
It's one of those fucking movies where it's like if the characters took 3/4 of a second to actually answer a question, the plot would make way more, would be over instantly. So they have to always bullshit, be like, why are you doing this? I'm going to turn and run away, and then I'll talk to you 20 minutes later in the movie for 5 seconds and do it again. Like, literally the whole movie is just chasing a character that refuses to answer any questions at all.
Yeah, refuses to tell you why you're chasing him.
I'm chasing you because I need to chase you. Why can't you help me? Run away. Why can't you help? Run away. Why can't
very
you run
abruptly,
away?
Oh, you're chasing me for this reason, and now I can help you.
Hi,
and it's like,
I know
okay,
who
thanks.
you are. Run away. I like you. Run away.
Yeah. Plot hokey, animation good is my takeaway.
Great. Honestly, it was pretty stunning. Like that scene over Tokyo. That was pretty fucking cool, Freeman.
There's so many good shots, like the Ferris wheel sequence. Very good.
Also, that song is still a slam dunk banger.
Yes.
Dun,
It needs to keep partnering with whatever the fuck that band is.
I would still listen to that song all the time on Spotify. I should really put it on my bangers playlist.
Radwimps, that's the band.
Oh right, who do every movie of his, right?
Just his last two.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the movie we all already talked about, though.
Yeah, we've alluded to this. But
Yo, Godzilla Minus One's fucking great. Everybody go see it.
Yeah, so the three of us actually went to go see it in theaters together 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was just before I went on vacation. That's right.
This was a phenomenal theatrical experience. I told you guys at the end of it, but there were a couple scenes like before Godzilla would show up where there's very slight rumbling in the soundtrack, and because we were in a theater with a great sound system, you could kind of feel it, and it added so much to the viewing experience. This is very much a go watch it in theaters movie.
Yeah, it's real good. You should all go see it.
They cracked the code. They made me spend the Godzilla movie when he's not on screen caring about the human characters.
Right.
Crazy.
Somehow.
Impossible.
So it's also funny because when I was flying out for work and for vacation in the past month, I rewatched King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. Man, every second those humans are on screen, I'm like, why the fuck should I care about anything you guys are doing? In King of the Monsters, a little bit because of that whole device thing, Tyler. the whole monster summoning device, the
Oh
the
yeah,
orca
from the
thing.
yeah.
But like the whole fucking time in Godzilla versus Kong, it's just let's follow Kong around. Maybe he'll find a thing at the middle of the earth for us, and also, oh well, we're gonna disable Mechagodzilla's tail for a quarter of a second so that Kong and
Yup.
Godzilla can win. But like
I hate it.
Minus One has such a real story, like, and the fact that this is set just like World War II ended as the movie started, like
during the movie.
like it is so real, and you feel like this could obviously, Godzilla being a non-realistic, being fake, but as far as we know, but like you could easily see so much of this being so real. A failed kamikaze pilot coming back and just being shunned by everyone in World War II, like whether or not he did what the main character did, like, man, and that the way that eats at you, it is so well done. And every scene involving Godzilla is just done so well. Like, it is insane to me that this
scene
movie
was just so good.
Oh my god, when he fires that shot in the city, like,
Yeah, it's pretty devastating.
but also the first time he does it with the battleship, where you just see the glow and then and then it's just gone. Or that, oh man, when he comes out of the water, jumps on the battleship side, and then the guns, as it's tilting, turn and just full on blast him from the side. Fucking
Yeah.
so well done. The whole mine sequence, it's so tense, and the fact that they like show his face in the water, because so many Godzilla movies are like the spikes. Ooh, the spikes in the water. That's all he is spikes on the waves. But like when he comes up and is looking at their boat, and oh man, it's so. Freeman, do you know how in the first Godzilla movie they beat Godzilla?
Like, you're talking the original?
Yes.
I've seen it, and I just straight up don't remember.
It's fine. They develop a bomb called the Oxygen Destroyer, or the Oxygen, I think it's called. Like half of all Godzilla movies trace their origins back to this thing created other villains somehow. But they literally detonate a bomb that like kills all the oxygen, and it like kills all the sea life near Tokyo, but also Godzilla. I love so much that this whole plan is just like physics, basically. There's no ooh, we'll develop the super nuke because the nuke made him big. So
there's no like
nuke,
magic or crazy technology involved. It's just like, let's see if we can use basic physics to win.
Yeah. It feels like this is the only plan that could have sort of worked, and it's so gripping to watch them actually do it. Oh, and also any time the Godzilla theme kicks in, it's like the hypest shit of the year.
It is pretty dope.
Like when nothing's happening and then just the violin starts, oh my god, my heart was going so good. If it's still in theaters near you, go see it. If not, just maybe see it when it comes out in black and white, but at least see this movie. I'm hoping to get a sound bar for Christmas. I would happily rewatch this movie with a sound bar in my basement. That would be a super banger. All right, Tyler. So actually only one of these movies was yours and yours alone after all what I said.
Yeah, true. I mean, I had more movies, but I don't feel like talking about them. Like the other ones I did watch, I watched The Croods New Age, which is the sequel to The Croods, which I thought was funny. I think I talked about Mission Impossible Fallout. I can't remember.
I don't.
That was a
either.
fun movie though too.
That was a good one.
Michelle and I rewatched Wreck-It Ralph, and I liked it more. And I gave it a score this time. I didn't give it a score last time because that was during my if I didn't see it recently. Like it was like when I just got into Letterboxd and like I didn't write anything yet. But I remember I didn't like it that much the first time I watched it. Like I thought it was just okay, but I watched it this time and I was like, huh, I like it much more than I remember liking it the first time.
Hell yeah.
So Yeah, and I know
Still
it's one of
my
your favorite
Yeah,
movies.
still one of my
Yeah.
favorite animated. Spider-Man's really taken over, but Wreck-It Ralph is still the first one is still definitely one of my favorite animated movies of all time.
Yeah, I'm a bad guy, and that's good.
And
Or
that's
something like
good.
that. Something you're not a bad guy. You're a bad guy. You're just not a bad
Bad
guy.
guy.
And I rewatched. I saw Treasure Planet for the first time in like probably 15 or so years.
Last
Oh
time I
my
saw this
god.
movie was in theaters.
Yeah. And man, I remember liking Treasure Planet when it came out. Never remember why I didn't see it though again. So like we came across it one day. Oh no, because Michelle was reading Aeronauts Windless, right? And she's like, "Man, this book reminds me of Treasure Planet." And I was like, "Huh, I haven't watched that in a while." She's like, "I love that movie." So we watched it, and I was like, "Damn, this movie's a fucking banger. Why did this flop so hard?" It came out at the same time as Die Another Day
Oh,
and Harry Potter: The
oh
Chamber of
no.
Secrets. The same weekend.
Damn.
That's kiss of death, my guy.
I was like, wow. I was like, there was no way.
It was
There
it
was
was
no
it was
way.
sent to die against a not very good James Bond movie, but the second Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, damn. I was like, there was no chance. There was no chance a new IP was gonna like fare against either of those. But yeah, it's like kind of disappointing because it was a made because I looked it up. I was like, how come this didn't get um a sequel? Because I think for the time, like the 3D was maybe it wasn't really good, but it was good though. Like they did a lot of blending and they did a lot of experimental stuff, but it came out very well. Yeah, really upsetting. But I like Treasure Planet. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth the watch. Oh, and then video games,
Yeah.
which all three of these are me.
This is all you, Tyler. You're the
Yeah,
real
go for
gamer.
it.
Real gamer. I beat Alan Wake 2.
What'd you think of it?
Did not like that ending.
Hmm.
Didn't like it at all. Which is funny. It's actually kind of a spoiler if I say this, because something is mentioned where it's like, I wrote the ending, but I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Or no, he's like, it's sloppy, but this is all I can do. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, it actually is
Oh.
kind of sloppy.
Tyler, real quick, not to bring it down, but did you see who passed away?
I did, which is upsetting.
Yeah.
The main voice actor for Max Payne, I forgot his name already.
Who is also playing a guy called Alex Casey, who is literally just basically Max Payne in Alan Wake
Yeah,
universe.
yeah, which is I thought was interesting. Which I was like, is this their way trying to shoehorn in Max Payne?
Yes, because Remedy doesn't own the
Like,
Max Payne license.
yeah, I was like, yo, are they gonna come out with like some offshoot Max Payne game? Because that'd be fucking dope. I thought the gameplay was fine. Actually, it's really funny. I compared this game a lot to Resident Evil 4's gameplay, like mechanically, and I was like, damn, Resident Evil 4 is better though.
Damn.
Yeah, like I think they do some cool stuff with like the dual hero thing. So you play as two different characters. You don't just play as Alan Wake, but you also play as Saga, this chick named Saga Anderson, who's like an FBI agent, who's trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on with this cult and like them murdering people in town, the same town that Alan disappeared from forever ago. So it was fun. I think the story was fun. It was for a game that prides itself or like leans heavily into the whole like I'm a writer motif. I feel like it was kind of predictable. I don't know how other people's felt about it. I didn't like check on Reddit or anything, but I don't know. It was kind of fun. You get to see some characters that they haven't seen in a while. A lot of them from Alan Wake 1. Or you even get to see some characters from Control, which I thought was fun too. But yeah, I mean, if you liked Alan Wake 1, this is worth a shot. Like, I think it's fun playing. But I do not recommend playing this game unless you've either played Alan Wake or Control or both.
All right.
Well, this is this is one of the only games that I really hope I get the chance to play soon. That I'd really like to play,
Yeah.
just because Control was so fun. I know it's not the same gameplay, but I would like to try this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if you want to, I don't think the story is gonna end with the main story. I think it might be continued in the DLC. Michelle got me like the whole thing for my birthday, so
I mean, that's fine, only because like I didn't love the story of the first Alan Wake anyway. I remember a bunch of it, but I was not like. It's all because of Control. I loved Control. So
yeah.
I'm fine to keep going with that, though.
Well, the FBC is here, so that's like, it's not even really a spoil. Like literally within 5 minutes, you find like an FBC outpost, and I'm like, oh, well, I know who these people are. And then these other two are kind of just like, I don't have really that much to say about them. I started playing Lethal Company with some friends.
Yep.
It's
What
been
is this game? I had to look it
it?
up before you started talking about this.
It's like the next what's that game called
The
with all the
ghost hunting one.
spacemen? No, I mean, yeah, it is basically the next Phasmophobia. It's actually is more like Phasmophobia.
Were you about to try Among Us?
Yeah, because you like dress up as weird guys in space, but like it's not that concept. It's more like Phasmophobia, where like it's a cooperative game. Actually, the best description I can give this to is that it's like Deep Rock Galactic, if you've ever played that game.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Whereas like
play
four player co-op.
4-player co-op, you go to a place that's procedurally generated and you rape the place for its resources and you bounce without trying to die.
Okay.
And that's the game, but it's hilarious. It's also really poorly made. Like
Like, is that part of the charm though?
it kind of is, yeah. Like it's really funny too, because like a lot of people, at least that I play with, don't know, but like the game was made in Unity, and you could tell like all the really basic shit that they put in, like using like Unity tools. And I was like, damn, like I literally made garbage like this when I was in school. Like it's not, but like it's funny though, right? Like it kind of adds to the charm, but like that's not why people like it. We've been playing it just because it's been funny. Some people think it's scary as hell, but I honestly just think it's hilarious. Like for example, we haven't been playing with Discord. We've been playing with game chat, like proximity chat.
Oh, to get that
So
immersion.
for the immersion, right? And one guy stays on like this is the strat, right? And shit costs money, so you don't want to have like everybody buy shit. But it's like there's a guy on the ship and like he has a map, and the strat is leave a radio with him and then leave one radio with somebody in the raid team, right? But the problem is if that one guy falls down a fucking hole or into a goddamn lake, you have no comms with the ship. That's it. That was your one radio. So I'll never forget. I was playing with Aiden, our other friend Scotty, and like Aiden's roommate. And we were all making a jump, and we're like, "Yo, let's try to make the jump." So I went first. I made it. Aiden made it second. Third guy, his roommate with the fucking radio, just fell down the hole.
Oh my god.
Gone. No comms. I'm like, great.
No.
Or even yesterday, I'm playing and I'm talking to my buddy. It's Scotty, and we're kind of like yelling back and forth at each other, and like I could hear him in the next room, and he's talking to me, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." I hear a boom, and he's just dead. And I'm like, "Scotty, you there?" He's just gone. He's just dead. It's funny stuff like that. Funny stuff. And then I'll get into the last thing. Ready or Not, version 1 finally released after a year and some change. And I was skeptical at first. I was like, man, they didn't release shit. What kind of stuff are they talking about? I didn't see none. Version 1 comes out. Dude, the AI has changed. Just when you thought they weren't as lethal, they're even more lethal now.
Oh my god, no
Oh
way.
damn.
Oh yeah, they will like pixel peek the shit out of you and just shoot the shit out of you. It's
Oh
crazy.
my god.
They improved some of the armor. Like they changed a lot of values on things, so like things make a tad more sense. They added a bunch of levels, and the levels that they had, they changed around. They even added the school level that has been constantly talked about.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's a controversial thing that they did, but I've been looking forward to it. I only got a chance to play a little bit of it, but what I played of it, I really enjoy so far, and we all need to play it. So, yeah.
Have it installed whenever we want to.
Actually, I had a problem with the update to 1.0.
Did you have to reinstall or?
Oh, it was bad. So the download file, it got corrupt, I think, and I tried to move
Oh,
it to
no.
another drive, and it was still corrupt.
Damn.
So after doing some like, the IT support level 2 troubleshooting, I ran a check disk, and after I was able to I did some digging, and I was able to figure out where the corrupted file was, and I was able to delete it after I ran the check disk.
Mm.
But it was a pain in the ass. It took me like hours because the problem is it wouldn't just fail automatically. It would download, get to like 60%, and then fail. And I would go to retry it, and then it would get to like 70%, and then fail. And so like I had to wait until it failed to see if it worked or not, whatever I did. And then I guess what did I finish? Oh yeah, I finished Ready Player One as a book. There you go.
Woo.
What did you think of the book version?
I thought the book version was fun.
Better than the movie?
Actually, I never saw the movie. Actually,
Oh damn.
I was going to watch the movie today, and then I got thrown on a work call before I had dinner. Like it was ridiculous. But I was like in the middle of watching it, and I told my coworker, I was like, "Hey, if you need help, you can call me. It's fine."
Oh my
And
god.
it turned into this really big thing, and I was like, "Oh great." So yeah, I'll give my opinion on the movie when I watch it, but I can already tell it's way different than the movie already. For good or better or worse, I have no clue, but I'll tell you. But I
All right,
thought the book was fun.
let me know because I like the movie. I'm not going to go and say it's phenomenal, but I still think it's entertaining. So I'm curious about your thoughts on it.
Yeah, the book is a different kind of entertaining. Like, they take more liberties in. I mean, there's a lot of references in the movie I can tell. But you could tell that like all the characters are just gushing over like just the past. Like it's nostalgia, the book. And I don't think there's any real like lesson to be made or had. Um I guess characters kind of go through some arc, but like I don't know, it is a fun story. But I'll let you know. It's also like a quick read too.
All right.
But I did listen to it on audiobook though. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I read. Or yeah, I think that was it since the last time we spoke. I don't think I finished any physical, but I'm in the middle of reading the second Aeronauts Windless book, The Olympian Affair.
Oh, same. I need to get back into it.
Where are you at?
God, I'm trying to even remember. Oh, they just showed. The summit. They're at the
Oh,
summit.
so you're at the summit.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
I'm not quite there yet. Like they're
like two things have happened at the summit, so I'm not that far in.
okay. I'm at the part where Aurora and Etherealist fucking teleported those ships.
God, fucking.
Yeah, I'm assuming she teleported them. I don't fucking know exactly. They didn't really explain it, but I'm ready
It's
for the
not-
explanation.
No, they allude to. I think maybe literally the next time you see those characters, they allude to what's actually going on.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Great.
it's just it's bad.
Oh wait. Oh no.
What?
I think I just because I'm kind of half tired sometimes when I'm reading it. And I don't think I was putting two and two together, but I think I understand now
What?
sort of what she's doing. Is she turning them into ghost monsters?
No.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. Well, like you know what I mean when I say ghost monsters, right?
No,
Kind of.
but it doesn't matter.
Okay. It
She's
is way
not
off.
turning them
Okay.
into anything.
Okay.
It definitely seems like something else is going on.
Okay. All right. All right. That's
And
it.
with that, 2 hours, and we'll see if we can stop before 2 hours and 10 minutes ticks over because we got to stop. But
You
until
guys don't want
next
to do
time,
you don't want to do a second topic? You want to talk about whether Final Fantasy 13-2 is a good game?
thank you all so much
Dude.
for listening to the few podcasts that we put out in 2023. Hopefully, we'll do more in 2024 or less. Who knows? But but until 2024, I have to remember what year we're in. My name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Only Tyler.
Thanks for the year, everybody. We'll catch you next time.